Hi, and welcome to Monday Night Toy Ramblings. I will be your host for the next 3 hours. Lawrence, Punk with Toys. And for some odd reason, I just got a message saying that this is having an issue streaming on Facebook. I don't really care. If it's not on Facebook, it's not on Facebook. You guys can be over here on YouTube. So tell me, you guys can all hear me. I'm going to ask the standard question. I don't know if I have enough to make it through 3 hours. I know I ask that all the time, and then I make it to like 3 hours and 20 minutes. There shouldn't be any feedback because it's just me and myself. There's nothing coming back at me. So if there's feedback, if there's an echo on your side, then I'm blaming you guys for that one. Anyway, as I mentioned, I'm Lawrence. That guy over there he just looked at me. You know exactly who he is. I don't have any kids here, so hopefully he will let us do our show as we are supposed to. Again, thank you for everyone for showing up. I see there's another big YouTuber that's going on right now, so I bet we're going to be dipping with our people watching. But hey, you know what? People always watch on the live or on the replay. People check in later on. So anyway. Quickly, I do want to mention I will be mentioning this a couple times. Matthew, if you have a second, if you can do it at the beginning, my first comment that I put, go over, if you haven't subscribed to Hella Dope Toys, go over there and subscribe. He's already here. When they hit 500, they are going to give away the Mythic Legions not Comic-Con. That was the name of it. I literally put it in there. The PowerCon exclusive. Sorry, guys. So they're going to be giving away the PowerCon exclusive once they hit 500 subs. I mentioned last night, if I get them to hit 500, will they do something? I don't even know what I was thinking. Ed, Action Figs was like, you want them to give you something to give away? And I want to tell you, no, I don't. That is such a pain in the ass to do a giveaway. That's why I won't do it every week or once a month. It is a pain in the ass. So anyway, yeah, go over there, subscribe. I know we get over, there are 67 away. 67 away, maybe 66. I saw PNC went over and subscribed from hitting the 500 goal. That will get them to half monetized is what it is. You can do super chats and different things like that. So help them. I want to see them get to 500 while I'm on the air. And I'm not staying much past midnight. So if you haven't subscribed, and I don't know why you haven't yet, make sure you hit it. So anyway, now saying hi to everyone. Last week was a hell of a week of me sitting on YouTube. I think I showed everything from PowerCon, and then I also picked up the two gargoyles, the Elisa and the armored Xanatos. So I've been doing so much YouTube. I was burnt out. Now I'm waiting on these G.I. Joe figures, and I'm not going to say anything because I've had discussions with the guy, but I'm just not getting confirmation that they're being sent out. And of course, it's a lot of money. I'm a little worried. But I'm not going to bash them because other people have got stuff from them. So it's one of those things where you're like, hey, you know what? Be patient. But patience isn't that's not what we're known best for as toy collectors now, is it? So anyway, that's that. Also, I want to mention the merch. If you guys are interested, if you like the shirts or anything like that, if there's anything that you want to see possibly be done, let me know. Hit me up. Send me an email. You guys don't know how to get a hold of me on Instagram or whatever. The memberships help support the channel and all the other good stuff. So, and we got 20 people watching. If you haven't subscribed, there should be at least 5 more people that have subscribed to their channel. So quickly, let's say hi to everyone that is in the chat. PNC, one of the channel members, thank you very much. Master Versal Toy Hunter, nice to see you. David R. The name that I cannot pronounce. McClockturg. I ruin it every time. Cobweb Collector. Check his channel out. He's always putting stuff out. And the one thing that Cobb does for not just me, but for so many other YouTube creators is he constantly pushes their stuff out on his own Instagram account. So thank you very much. It is noticed, at least by me. I can't say by everyone else, but I do notice when you do it, Cobb. Thank you. And Matthew Matson, the moderator, what he says goes. We don't have many issues because you know what? We got a good group of guys here. DJ Feevish. Down south, I'm glad to see you are become one of the regulars around here. It is great to but get more regulars that you start to really notice their names and they're interacting. So, and then we got Ronnie Trick Shot. Nice to see you all the way from Australia. Action Figs. You know, it's weird calling you Action. You're Ed. I know you on a personal level now, and that sounded kind of dirty. Maybe I should have thought that out. That's live for you. I think I already said hi to Master Versal Toy Hunter. Big Bacon right here. And then the man, Ted Darklaw. Thank you so much for having me on last night. It is wonderful to be asked to be on different shows, especially one like yours. And I'm happy to be part of your little crew. So there he is, Tony Romo. You're going to do the logo I told you about, you know, eventually. I like the idea, and, you know, I have to make my kid do it. But yes, I like the idea. I got to do it. If I can't say what it is, because someone will probably do it. Eric Peterson, and then let's see, Viper Scout, and Shark Eyes. Hey, we're waiting for your show. Did your show start? You got to let me know so we can do something with that. So anyway, another one from Australia, another channel member, and a Digital Diarrhea, another channel member. If you haven't watched my last Thursday with a friend, go check it out. Very interesting. It's always wonderful to learn about you guys, man. Honestly. And this week, what are we doing, Matthew? Oh, it is Thursday movie flashback. Thursday night movie. I forget what I called it. We will be discussing Roadhouse, which is a wonderful movie. I watched it. I still have to go through and do all my slides and everything for it. I gotta say, I already watched it again. It's so much fun, man. Like that movie. It is so much fun. And say hi to Payne really quick. Another channel member. Thank you very much. But yeah, you'll be talking Roadhouse, and then the following week, I know it's a ways away, Ostradamus is going to be my guest on Thursday with a friend. So, all right. So we got in everything. 23 people. Again, go subscribe to Hella Dope Toys. Let's see if we can get them to 500 subscribers while this show is going on. Anyway, and we'll be mentioning it a little bit more throughout the day. The Matthew will also drop a link to the channel when he gets a second. All right. So quickly, I want to talk about Target Geek Out is happening again, the Fall Geek Out. I don't really know what I really don't know what they have, if they have anything that is anyone's really going to care about. Now, they always have a little bit of stuff. So looking at it here, it does start August 25th. It is McFarlane Toys. I don't know, man. Like, do we really need a McFarlane Geek Out? Do we need a day to do McFarlane drops? I mean, the guy drops stuff so damn much. And half the stuff he's giving away for free at PowerCon. Hell, you know what? You probably could have earned your money back from your ticket at PowerCon had you just gone around and around in his line and got more and more free stuff. So yeah, McFarlane starts on the 25th. Then there's a Lego drop on 9/1. I'm sure Brick will be there. Brick something. He'll probably be there getting Legos. I got to say this, if you're going to invest in toys, something that you're going to want to sell. And I'm going to tell you, that is probably going to be the next topic after this one. It was actually going to be this. This week. But I'm going to talk about why you shouldn't be investing in toys for your retirement. I'm so sick and tired of it. I gotta say, you know what? I'm going off topic really quick. But I'll tell you what, man. These corporate eels have brought out the shit bags in the G.I. Joe community again. These are army builders. Emily's already said that, hey, you know what? There's going to be more of them. Don't worry. And people are selling them for fucking $50 before they even have them in hand. All right? And, this is... Okay. Jeremy, this goes to you. You've run a great G.I. Joe page, other than there are too many damn scalpers on that page. And that's just me. It's just people stop. Do not spend $50 on these army building eels that there are going to be more and more. So just stop, man, and get those people off the damn page. You're never going to find those on Punks with Toys. Like, I don't want that. Like, that is something I don't want. I mean, if you were selling something that was old vintage that you wanted to get rid of, awesome. You know what? Pizza Face, man. I gotta say, there's also the folks who bought promo codes for Chuckles. Yeah, well, quick. I'm gonna address something that happened with Pizza Face on my channel. It's not bad, but anyway, back to the Target Geek Out. See, this is what happens. This is the whole rambling shit. On 9/8, we're gonna have Mattel and Xbox. I don't understand that one. 9/15, it is the Hasbro drop. I doubt there'll be any G.I. Joe. Normally, when there's G.I. Joe, they say it's G.I. Joe, and if it is something G.I. Joe, it's gonna be something that is just one of their exclusives that we've already seen. My opinion. I might be completely wrong. And then Funko Pop, and then 9/22 is Funko, and then 9/29 it is NECA, which is like the Target exclusive is NECA, man. They just pump things out. So quickly, I want to when a thread starts on one of my videos, and this goes back to it would have to be not Foxtrot, the Action Force Golf pack. So somewhere along the lines, like if there's a thread going, I won't see everything. I only get the first comment, and then I will get comments here and there, whatever. And then one popped up, and I saw Pizza Face, and I thought someone was referring to someone and just starting to insult someone, and then realized there was a guy, Pizza Face, right here, that was discussing stuff. And somewhere along the lines, where someone had mentioned about the minigun and the bullets coming out, that Bobby stole that. And from what I could tell, there was a discussion where one person said, no, that's brand new design. He didn't come up with that. He actually admitted that he stole that from Dwight from the Ironmonger Fighting Iron Man 2-pack, which my son has. So I know exactly which one he was talking about. So I just found it interesting. Again, I'm not giving hate to Action Force. I know people look for that on here. It was something that Bobby had specifically said, hey, I stole that. He goes, I didn't get that. So I don't know why. There was one person, a couple of people on the page saying it was brand new, and maybe they were trying to say it's a new Action Force thing, but those bullets ejecting from the minigun is not something new. He admitted that he had stole it. It looks awesome on the Action Force minigun, but so thank you for Pizza Face for joining. I've never seen you here. I would have remembered that name. And I got to say hi to Mr. Wonderful and to Black Knight. Again, great being on with you guys last night. So the whole crew's here. And again, as I mentioned, go over there, subscribe to their channel, hit 500 while we are on the air, and they're going to be giving away the PowerCon exclusive Mythic Legions. I don't know what the guy's name is. And let's say hi to Allison Troy, another channel member. One of the most, you guys are all important, but her and I go back and forth, and she does bring a lot to the table. So, and also follow her. There's so many good people on here, man. You click some of these names. It's how you find people on YouTube. It's also how you stop watching TV shows, is you just go down the rabbit hole of you just go down the rabbit hole of following and meeting and talking to people on here. So all right. So let's get into some of the news. Again, there's not a lot of news. That's why I'm spending so much time. My kids, that's not why I'm spending so much. I ramble on. You guys know that. But to say hi to Super Tissa really quick, I just got to wait for my Demonstros cloak and cape from PowerCon. That's his name, Demonstros. That's what they're going to be giving away. And fighting code names. What up, Punk and crew? Again, I love these guys. You guys were not part of the early people that helped grow this channel. Well, starting off the channel, and I love seeing new regulars all the time. And Darth Berkey, who just pops in like this. What's up, punks? It's the only place to be Monday nights. Thank you. You know what? That's what I like to hear. A lot of other good YouTubers out there, but you should watch them on the replay. You never know what I'm going to say when I'm going to go off on a rant. I don't know what I'm going to talk about, to be honest. Actually, I have all these notes right here. I'm so unprepared. I'm literally just sitting talking to myself, reading through all this. Okay, so I'm going to talk about a few things, obviously. So let's bring up what I have. Let's see here. I'm going to present this. And maybe I will share screen. Now, any of you guys that do or use StreamYard live stream, you know what I'm doing right now. As I'm saying, share screen, window. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing right now. It's just talking to myself, man. All right. Hold on. Ed Lawrence, is that the Garbage Pail Kids post from PowerCon? Yes, it is. So this is the guy. So this guy was between Mr. Wonderful Travis and Hella Dope Toys. And he had made these Garbage Pail Kids. First off, there was a bunch of skateboards. So, I mean, I'm attracted to it right there. And then there were Garbage Pail Kids. And he had either G.I. Joe Garbage Pail Kids, Motu Garbage Pail Kids, and then a whole bunch of horror Garbage Pail Kids. And there were whole sets of cards. There were whole decks, everything like that. And I just love the Firefly one. This is Firefly Rye. And then I grabbed, he had pins. I don't remember if he had magnets, but if you can see that, it's the scare glow. I wish this thing glows because it's just so damn awesome. So it's glowing Rowan. Anyway, yeah, that I love that. Like, I would have bought so much more of that stuff, but you start to run out of money. And I just saw Oz pop in here. So Ostradamus, like I said, he will be the next Thursday with a friend 2 weeks from now. So, it just dawned on me that I'm showing you all this stuff, and I'm showing you all this stuff, and I'm not even paying attention that I had this stupid Green Lantern up. So hold on. Let's remove this really quick. Yeah, so there's this. He had all these Garbage Pail Kids. They were just so awesome. And I think you said you took a look at them. I was super impressed by them. They were so much fun. Like, that's exactly the type of stuff that I want. And let's say hi to Mega J. Yes. But they didn't have Coke. All right. I tried listen, I tried honoring the bet. They didn't have Coke. They had Pepsi. I didn't know you hated Pepsi that much. And then the funny thing is, we got to the bar where we were all meeting, and the first thing Mega J says is, they have Pepsi here too. I will get you a Coke. If we end up at PowerCon next year, I will buy a Coke on the way from Detroit, Michigan. It'll be warm, but hey, you know what? And you will get one. Oh, so anyway, let's get this back on here. I'm gonna add this to the stream. All right, so into the news, I guess. Like I said, there's not a lot of news, but the one thing that I can always count on is McFarlane always dropping something or a lot of stuff. So I think we might have actually showed this before. I actually think this figure looks pretty damn good, to be honest. Although I'm not a huge McFarlane fan. I mean, I have a few. Most of them probably going to be selling just because, I don't know. I'm running out of space. Got to get rid of something. But if it's here, again, I think it looks cool. I think Green Lanterns are awesome. I think that, once again, DC and Warner Brothers, they don't seem to know what the hell they have, is sitting on a property that isn't their big three, isn't their Justice League core, even though he is part of the core. And you know what? There's so much shit behind here. The magic of a camera, the things you can't see. Again, I think DC is missing out on something so big, to be honest. Again, I think the whole Green Lantern core, I know they've talked about doing it, but anyway, if you like Green Lantern, it's here. A flaming hot Green Lantern. And again, off topic, sidebar. If you haven't watched the Flamin' Hot movie on Hulu about how the Flamin' Hot Cheetos came to be and all that, it's very interesting. It was a pretty good watch. And again, if you have Hulu, it's free. So get that free stuff while you can, because McFarlane seems to be the only one giving free stuff away. Now, this popped up, and I gotta say, I've always liked Sinestro. And the biggest crime of the Green Lantern movie that we got was they had an absolute perfect guy to play Sinestro. That unfortunately, we're never going to see him play Sinestro. We got to see the end of it, but man, that guy was absolutely perfect. Giraffe. You sure that's McFarlane? I'm surprised it isn't Bruce Wayne as Green Lantern. Give it a listen. There's a good chance there might be one. He already has one, I think, doesn't he? But I think this Sinestro looks really good. Again, I think the proportions are out of scale, and unfortunately, they're 7-inch. I really do wish that these sat on a 6-inch scale. It'd be so cool to have DC figures that could actually go up against Marvel figures. And since, the Legends were doing it well ahead of time, I think it's really where they should have gone. But I guess you can mix and match them with, unarticulated Super 7. Here's the box. There's the ring. Again, I think this is a pretty good looking figure. I mean, if you're into McFarlane, I think this is a really good one. Paying Sinestro may come home for my Legions of Doom. You know what? It's a good looking figure, man. I gotta say. Mega Jet, Miss Sinestro is just misunderstood. Aren't we all? Aren't we all? Flamin' Hot is a false story. It's 60% fake. A woman from headquarters created Flamin' Hot Cheetos 5 years prior. I don't care. It's a good movie. Matthew, I don't care about that. I'm just finding out The Blind Side was all fake. A feel-good sports movie. It was all fake. That's why we need to do Young Guns, because it's based on a true story. So is Tombstone. Okay, so here we go. We kind of have a Jokerized Batman. We're coming to the Allison part of the stream where we talk about Batman. She will notify us how many Batmans get released between now and the time we finish talking about different Batman. But it is glow in the dark. And I do have a couple glow in the dark figures. The glow in the dark makes me happy. I don't know what it is, but this thing here, unfortunately, is like Jokerized. But where the glow in the dark is, I think it would look really sweet on a glow in the dark shelf, or a shelf that you just want to kind of illuminate all by itself. Giraffe says, wouldn't mind if his head was a little longer. Otherwise, that's a nice Sinestro. You said a little longer. Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. I think it looks good, though. I mean, again, McFarlane, don't worry. They're going to redo it again in some form. But again, I like the way the cape is glow in the dark, so it would illuminate behind him. It's kind of one of the only reasons why I threw this in here. I don't need more Jokerized Batman. But hey, you know what? If you do, it's there for you. I think, as Robo says, hey, if you don't want it, don't buy it. Although I'm going to rag on certain things later on, as I always do. But I don't have to buy it. I just got to talk about stuff. Wait a minute. Hold on. Giraffe, what do you say here? Flocked Batman out yet? Come on. Ooh, a flocked glow-in-the-dark Batman with like a loincloth around his diaper area. Oof. You know, you're onto something there. We have God Tank here. I have some great glow-in-the-dark paint. I would funk that thing up. Well, glow-in-the-dark, from what I understand, is super expensive. That's why some people have to jack up the price of their figures like 10 or 20 bucks when they do a glow-in-the-dark. They're already overpriced figures. But other than that, like I said, it's an interesting looking Batman. Again, how many Batmans do we need? As he would probably say, just one more. But there you go. And I'll tell you what, he's starting to give you a little bit more. The card holder is a nice little touch. It kind of harkens back to what Valaverse does with their with his stands, where they have the slide. Hold on one second. All right, we're gonna try and make it. I have been able to avoid having a sneezing fit. I'll have a sneezing fit for like 3 or 4 minutes. At times, I have avoided every single one of these live streams that I've never had one. So let's hope we don't have one, but I kind of feel it might be coming on. This guy got dropped down here. If you're interested, this is I believe the only picture that they showed. So again, he's drawing the line. Oh man. Payne says they have Barbarian Batman glow in the dark flocking. Oh, do they? Oh, well. Nope, he's not here. I don't even know where the hell he is. He might be on the other side of the pillow there. I don't need him messing things up right now. Let's see here. Quickly, draft. Actually, with the current DC, they should have a flat-tongued Harley Quinn. All right, I don't. All right. So this just popped. This is another exclusive. I believe this was an Amazon exclusive. And I might be missing something. I thought that this Batgirl was specifically from the TV show. Now, maybe there is a Batgirl that looks like this in the comics. I'm not sure, but they sure make it seem like it with Clayface and Batman. Let's see, Mega J. Allergies hit at the beginning of the summer, and at the end of the summer, the struggle is real. They're not allergies, Mega J. Why am I calling you Mega J? They're not allergies, J. Like, I met you. I don't have to call you Mega J anymore. I can refer to you as just J. No, I have these sneezing fits out of nowhere. And it'll be sometimes when I'm at a client's office, which is awful. Though, I mean, awful sneezing. I was lucky to never have one while I was during the pandemic while wearing a mask. They're usually in the car. Sunlight hits me wrong, and man, next thing I know, I am just all over. Okay, so Super Tizzle says, yeah, it's Kate Kane, but is she from the comic, or is she just from the cartoon? Yeah, I think the Black Lightning actually looks really good. Couldn't think of his name, that's why I didn't say it. Okay, I couldn't remember his name. But isn't she just from? I mean, I know there's other Batgirls, and I believe there was a Kate Kane before, but I thought this suit is specifically from that awful, awful TV show. Okay, so Domain says now that's a Batwoman, and she is from the. Okay, hey, listen, I don't follow enough with that. I know that that's the exact look that they used in the figures didn't fall in that TV show. So, but it actually looks fairly good. I mean, I'm sure it's mostly just repainted with a different head. And I don't know about you, but none of my Bat figures have been able to hold the Batarang that good. Again, no pinless joints. I do think the red and the black works really well on this color. I don't want to say it too loud because then you'll get the red and the Batman, red and black Batman that looks just like this. He'll probably even have hair coming out the back. McFarlane's got to do something new for Batman soon. It's been at least 5 minutes since he's released one. And then this giant, it looks like a giant walking pile of shit. And when I think of that, all I can think of is Chet from Weird Science and his big pile of shit, which then goes back to kind of looking like Pizza the Hut from Spaceballs. You know, the original Star Wars Spaceballs. Some of you guys have no idea what I'm talking about. Ted quickly says here, I'm not a McFarlane guy, but the Batwoman and Clayface look good. Could actually have a lot of fun with that Clayface. I agree. Like, and what's nice is that Clayface can look so many different ways. He doesn't always have to be one look, considering he's constantly changing. But it is a nice looking figure for a pile of shit. And then I think the Batman actually looks pretty good, to be honest. It's not bad at all. Sometimes I like the smaller ears. Sometimes I like the longer ears. I think this one looks really good. So, in just the white accent around the bat, I think actually looks good. I'm just not a fan of the McFarlane stuff, and it doesn't fit with anything. Well, it doesn't fit with anything that I really collect. So, and then here's just the cover of it. The back cover, the back artwork, I actually think it looks pretty nice. This is going to be big. This will be a big, beefy box. JLS Comics. I want to address you really quick. I have not skated since the last time that we discussed that. Since we discussed things, and my ankle's still been kind of messing with me, so I have not gone out and filmed a kickflip. I was going to look for an older video, but I'm like, you know what? I can find one somewhere, but I will get you one, I promise, before the end of summer. I really just need to go skate. That's what it really turns into. So Domain says that's a repainted Rebirth Batman. Yeah, there's so many. It's so hard to keep up with what McFarlane repaints and what he puts back out here, especially with his Batman. So I scare my wife by putting on the back of the toilet before she got home from. It's not nice. That's not nice. And Shark Eyed Toy Review, go follow him. Not right now. Follow him. Get his subscriber count up, along with going over to Hella Dope Toys and getting them up to 500. There's 36 people now watching. I know you guys have been strolling through. Come on, get them to 500 while my stream is going. Our stream is going. All right. So there's another Superman. I feel like lately McFarlane feels like he's let Superman down. He's made too many Batmans. Now he's got to start pumping out the Supermen. And he's doing a pretty good job of re-releasing them. So here is another 2-pack. It's another exclusive. I forget where it's coming to. Again, you'll be able to find it for half the price. I like the design that they have here, the kind of the platform that he has. So it is a nice looking figure. I don't understand the Superman chest cut. Now he's had this now on a lot of them. There's just this big, huge gap underneath it, and I don't understand the reason for it. It drives me nuts. Also, I gotta say something else. This is Payne's logo, and this is Oz's logo. One of you need to change your logo, dude. Ooh, my camera is wigging out. My camera just died. It says that it's unplugged. Huh. That's interesting. Well, guys, it looks like we just lost the camera at midstream here. So I probably look better than normal. So let me get something done here. He did not chew it. He's just laying there. Yes, now it's just a voice with toys. I like that. I like that. Give me a second here. Let's see what I can do, if I can do anything. Well, it is extremely interesting that the camera just died out of nowhere. Let's see what I can do. This is awesome, guys. Listen, there's never a dull moment here. That is for sure. What was even crazier is I could watch it happening when it just decided that it was going to crap out. So let's see if I can get this to work. Says take it out to a nice place first, though. StreamYard now charging extra for live camera fee. Quite possibly. Who knows? No, the green light literally went on. I can still see that. It tells me the power's on. All right. So we are going to have to let's see if I can get the integrated webcam to work. Well, let me tell you, this is absolutely amazing, guys. I might have to restart this really quickly. Luckily, StreamYard will hold the feed. Oops. Oops, we just lost everything. Integrated camera. Give me a second. I have to restart the computer really quick. StreamYard will hold it. You guys just talk. Shark, Matthew, you guys can talk. get them going, guys. Let's restart this really quick. This absolute awesome. All right. I believe I'm back and a different angle. And this is weird because I had everything set up to come off this monitor over here, but now I gotta look over here. So now I'm just all messed up. So now you see a different design of everything behind me. And I read your comments. What is it? Lawrence just faking. He's killing 25 minutes to get to the 3-hour mark. Hey, you know what? If I wanted to do that, I could just come on late like you guys on Oz's stream. And I did see where who said that I'm just staying on topic. That I snapped away the Thanos snapped away the camera. So here's the integrated camera. I'm not a big fan of where it's at. It actually doesn't look that bad, to be honest. All right. But now I got everything. Now I got to get everything back to wherever the hell we were at. So quickly, let me find something that I had already up. I'll probably freeze when I do this. So anyone who's new, yes, this type of shit happens. Probably because I bought like a $35 camera back in like December just to get me going. But it is on par with everything that's been going on, so I can't wait to get the new computer, which hopefully won't be too much longer. Then I got to get everything to go with it. So bear with me as I get stuff back. All right. So, of course, everything is on this camera right here. All right. I want you over there. I want you right there. Nope. All right. So yeah, this is a lot of fun, guys. Can't even remember where the hell we were at. So there's always that. God damn it! Everything wants to come back to the main computer. All right, Action Fix, thanks you. And now we got to give money for the new camera fund. Thank you. It will be going to the new camera, considering when it is plugged in, I could see the power's on, but the green light was done. No, Mr. Wonderful, I will not go Mac. I'm not a fan of Macs at all. Not to mention, we would need a lot more super chats to get to the point where I could afford a Mac. And I know Johnny Reno came in right at the at the snap part where I disappeared. So anyway, I'm gonna have to go back on some of these toys here because, All right, so let me see. Everything is completely out of whack right now. So I can share the screen. Yeah, share it. Window, this one, share. All right. So we made it to the Superman. And I was talking about how awful his chest cut is. I don't know why it feels like there's a gap on all the Superman. I don't really notice it on too many other figures. Yeah, thanks a lot, dude. Flexible payment options. Thanks, Microsoft. Draft. Max are for soccer moms and devs that are too scared to jump fully into Linux. I don't want another one. I'll do it. All I want to do. Listen, I use my iPhone for everything. Other than this. So anyway, I feel like McFarlane here. Look, I went right back into where I was at. McFarlane is here. He's trying to catch up with the Superman. This guy looks pretty interesting. Someone tell me who he is. He is right here. The Atomic Skull. I think he looks awesome, to be honest. And this is one of those things you can kind of get away with. Not having the diaper, the non-pinless joints. And one of the big things with the pin joints that McFarlane uses, they're just huge. They stick out like a sore thumb. Unlike, like the Sparrow toys, the AWOC figures, they don't really stand out nearly as much as the McFarlane stuff does. So, but that's there. Atomic Skull versus Superman. I don't know much about it. If you like it, pick it up. There's the back of the box. There Superman is pumping his chest out because his camera didn't die. Yeah, you done fucked something up. Yeah, listen. The amount of issues that I've been having now, I get on the streams and I have this horrible echo. I got to use an earbud now. I don't know what the hell's going on. So it's a total mess right now. Everything is a mess. Lone Dragon. Podcast, I tried to use your... okay. I don't know. Which one? For Amazon or for Entertainment Earth? It should work. If you pre-order something, you have to click the link. If you're buying something that's in stock, you can type it in. It's really weird how they do it. For Entertainment Earth, that is. All right, so I guess these were kind of shown at San Diego Comic-Con, like in the background of things. And I have to say, for someone who isn't really big into Marvel Legends or anything like that, okay, EE. Oh yeah, so if you pre-order something, Lone Dragon, you have to use one of the links that takes you into it. You can't type in the code because the code will give you 10% off anything in stock. So if you typed in the code and then you're buying something in stock, it'll go through. Or if you just hit the link, it works. It's weird like how they do it. So I really like these figures. I have I have one Hydra figure and I have the 2-pack, and I think these figures, the colors look really good. Figures aren't the greatest because they have warped legs and everything because they're really thick and they use really cheap plastic. But the colors are really nice. And if you have the Valiverse weapons pack, where a couple of the guns have they're white and black, they look perfect on these figures. But the head sculpts look amazing on these. And if they actually work, let's say on the G.I. Joe Valkyries, then I think a lot of people will be buying these. Not to mention, you can easily make these blue figures into Cobra Troopers without a problem. So I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of people doing that. An interesting box. Again, if you're an inbox collector, I don't know why. If you're an inbox collector, why you'd be buying something like this, but God bless you. The gas mask is awesome for the male figures. It does fit on a lot of the classified figures, but it just really pops. Again, you can do so much to make this. You can do so much to make this a Cobra Trooper. And the green one, again, I use them for my Serpentors team, along with all the Valiverse baddies. I think it works pretty good, but I really haven't done too much with them. They actually sit. Actually, both of them are sitting in my my mech hiss that I have. So, what is interesting is this is everything that you get. So you get 5 different heads. The 2 masked heads, 3 unmasked heads, different skin tones for everyone, guns that are reused, multiple hands. Now, frankly, the grenade launcher type gun isn't a bad gun. The pistol is the same one that comes with that Black Widow that's coming with the Nick Fury. They're all right, but you know what? It can find some better weapons, to be honest. I wonder how the female Valiverse packs might look on these figures if they fit really well, because you could armor them really nicely, to be honest. But the guns seem to fit pretty well in their hands. Again, these guns they're just like this big blaster. It's fairly stupid, but again, here you can have her like carrying the mask. And again, if it fits on the G.I. Joes, especially if it fits on those Valkyries, I can see a lot of people buying even more army builders for the Joe team just to use these. Payne says, have one on special order. Okay. Yeah. Let's see here. I heard you blue tag for Firefly. Said probably talking to someone else that I don't know. Veritas says, hard seeing Carrick rolling with Serpenta. Well, that's okay because I sold my Carrick, so I don't need to worry about that. Yes, I do. I know what you are. And I mentioned him earlier. I'm having issues getting my stuff from there. I talked to the guy out of Taiwan there. I talked to him, and unfortunately, I'm waiting on the stuff. The stuff was supposed to ship today. I'm not going to badmouth him because a lot of people have gotten really good. The guy seems really nice. I believe him, and everyone else has gotten their stuff, but I'm just having an issue seeming to get that stuff shipped and get my shipping order. So, I'm a little disappointed, to be honest. Considering I just put in an order for a lot of stuff. Yeah, so your stuff shipped out. So one order didn't ship because he was waiting on the figure. He's like, not a big deal. Then he showed it to me. Then I ordered the other figures. They were all supposed to go out today. I did not get a shipping order. I don't want to continue to bother the guy because I know he has a lot going on, but it is kind of disappointing now that I'm sitting here waiting on it. Yeah, so you have another order shipping out tomorrow. Nice, a certain fig comes in. Yeah, well, it must be nice to get the stuff. I'll talk to you either later on tonight or tomorrow. So I don't want to keep bothering the guy, but I'm a little disappointed in that I'm not getting having a shipping confirmation. Sorry, guys. Having a conversation with pain while you guys are listening to it. Again, if these figures are somewhat like the body of that Black Widow, they're going to have some pretty good posing, to be honest. I'm not sure if that's what they're using now, but these figures do look really nice. There's no doubt about it at all. The head sculpts are great. If this is what they look like. We all know that sometimes we see patience in with Jesus, out with the devil. Yes, that's not my issue. Let's see here. Sounds like my scam art issue. Anyone got the retro Snake Eyes and my order got canceled? No, this is a little different. This is a little different. I mean, this is out of Taiwan. A lot of people have gotten stuff, including Pain, V's Battleground, Chaz, and I've talked to the guy. I'm just not getting any shipping notification, and it's starting to like irk me. All right. The green, I'm not a big fan of this green, but again, if you have a little bit of paint or you want to have a green team, maybe you like green and yellow. There you go. A little H with the Hydra, you're good. I'm really not a big fan of the bug eyes, not on the males or this. I guess the gun, which I believe is a grenade launcher, isn't a bad make-believe gun. Not my favorite, and since I have 1,000 guns and only like 500 figures, God, I probably have about 500 figures. So pathetic. I don't really need to use it. If you're gonna get this, I'm not sure if I'm gonna pick up this pack here. If I do, I'm gonna wait on it. That's for sure. I hate when people post shit like this. So Anthony says it's a shotgun. All right, I guess. Kind of looks like a grenade launcher. Doesn't really look like a shot. It doesn't look like a real gun. So it can be whatever the fuck you want it to be. Go throw an interception, dude. All right. So I do like this head sculpt. I think it's really nice. It has a really nice head sculpt. So here's the two figures again with everything. Again, the one on the Hydra, that's the only head sculpt that I really think is just stupid. Just doesn't look good at all. All right, so the Habs Lab here. I don't know who's backing it. So you are not a gun guy. Yeah, I mentioned that before. I'm not a gun guy. I know enough weapons to be dangerous. But whatever. Lawrence lives in Detroit and doesn't know what a door breather looks like. I don't know what a fucking door breather is. Jeffrey, you missed a whole bunch. You missed my camera die. You missed my sneeze. You missed me have to restart my computer, hoping that it would work. So now this is why you're looking at a different angle than what you would normally see me. Yeah, okay, I know what a door breacher is. I live in Detroit. They knock down stuff all the time. over by the prison. So anyway, it has it ends, I think, the day before or after the Hexastack Kickstarter goes up, and you're gonna need the Hexastack so you can show off all your new figures if it hits the 18,000 and gets everyone. So I threw this in here just because I was wondering where it's at, but they threw in a whole bunch of new pictures, and I gotta say, the pictures of this thing is absolutely amazing. It looks nice, and some of the photography that they did, again, this is just them on top of it. I'm not a big fan of these two guys from what I watched. Although, I gotta say, when we get to the end of this, we will be discussing it. Actually, yeah, you know what? Here. Listen, if you haven't backed Hexastack, I know I did a whole thing on it. You need to go do it. Go back it. I think it's like $25, $30 just for the base. This guy, Travis, he's honestly a good guy. And he is doing something that's going to make your figures look better when you can actually see them, especially the ones that are sitting behind you. So anyway, go back Hexastack. I don't know. You can't post a link. Maybe you can send Matthew a link and he can post it. I'm cool with that. Again, new pictures. This is actually a pretty good picture that they got with her just kind of staring up at her wonderful ship. And I gotta say, the gun turret, it really gives you those, World War II vibes, even though the gun turret was on the bottom in World War II. It's kind of just brought up because Articulated Chad posted something on his Instagram about an awful thing that happened back in World War II. You don't want to know. But here you kind of see the little shuttle that connects to it. You can see the size of it. You can fit a figure in there. Of course, the robot doesn't really make sense how Chopper is. Seems like his legs should be hanging out down here, but it is what it is. I didn't. When I was talking to my PowerCon, he sold me so hard on Hexastack. The nameplate stuff is what sold me. Honestly, God, it is a good. I mean, again, I'm not a stand person because of how I display my figures, but it is one of those things that I've always said when I've seen people that are displaying their figures that it just kind of, you can't see what's in the back. You got to put the bigger figures in the back, and you still got to do that. And as one of the short guys who would go to punk shows and you're trying to look in between, I would love to have a Hexastack to stand behind people who, for some odd reason, the guys that are, 6'5", 6'6", always feel like they need to be towards the front. And you're like, hey, motherfucker, why don't you move to the back? But I'm not really going to talk to you like that because you'll squash me. Okay, I'm just rambling on, aren't I? All right, so more inside. Again, if you guys got this, I think you're getting a pretty good deal for what toys cost today. It is a giant ship. It's going to be fun to see some of the photography that some of you guys can do on it. I like this one here. The fact that you can fit all four people. You got this wannabe Jedi in the back here punching the ship. I'm sure someone will tell me exactly what he did here. I'm sure it's probably from one of the cartoons. You kind of have the gunner station here. And that's the gunner station, right? Does that make sense? Is that kind of like them where they sit in the front of it? I like this picture. I thought this was pretty sweet. So, again, I threw this in here. Again, I think that has like 17 days. It still seems to have, I feel like this thing's been up forever now. I feel like this thing has been up for absolutely ever, but it hasn't. It's been up for like a month. They let it go up for quite some time. So, but nice new pictures. Again, if you're interested in this, get it. You get one chance to get it, and that's it. And here you can even see, look, they actually pried her hands open and put it around the ladder. I don't see too many people wanting to do that stuff. Like, people are scared to pose their figures, bend stuff, and yeah, another good picture. And I don't think it's gonna hit the 18,000, but who knows? Maybe it'll magically jump. All right. So we gotta talk about this TMNT sewer that so many people are really upset about. And honestly, I didn't even look at this because I don't pay attention to TMNT. So when I was at PowerCon, I didn't even bother looking at it. And I know it's starting an uproar. Everyone is doing streams about it. Is it too expensive? What are they thinking? I mean, I don't even know anymore. It is large. The fact that it can hold the turtle van in it. There's not a lot of stuff that comes with it. I know a lot of people kind of complained about it. And the fact that the NECA playscape is supposed to go on top of it, it makes you wonder, like, what are they thinking? But this thing is $300. I feel like these things can be 3D printed. You're still going to pay a lot unless if you are 3D printing it yourself. I can definitely do this many walls for myself. But again, it has created a lot of controversy. But there's a lot of expensive play sets happening right now. Matthew says, the Extreme Set Sewer is worth it. This is one room for $300. Compare it to the Cat's Lair. Sorry, no. I did see where it was at. Wasn't paying attention. It was literally like almost right next to the Cat's Lair. But I wasn't paying attention. They had two of them together. And like I said, I wasn't interested. Now, if I would have known that it was $300, I probably would have went and taken some pictures of it, just so I could be one of the streamers that also talked about it and use it as my thumbnail. But I didn't. I put one of the most scary looking faces on a stream, a thumbnail with Thanos. And then the worst thing is, when you put it in a StreamYard, I had to chop it off so you couldn't even see Thanos. So people would just see my giant mug on the thumbnail. But this is what you're looking at. Here you can fit the figures in here. We can see it is large. So it's 25 inches long, 12.75 inches high, and then 15 inches deep. So I have, hold on. So I print up walls all the time here. So this wall that I have here, now I'm looking at the wrong damn thing. It's driving me nuts here. So this wall that I have here that I print up is 9 inches high. So you're talking about another 3 inches, almost 4 inches. So you have a good amount of space that it's going to hold. And again, you take a figure here, and you see how much space there actually is. So the thing is very large. It's not as it's not small at all. I mean, 25 inches. I mean, so it's over 2 feet long, 15 inches deep. I know a lot of people were real upset about it. Yes. That's what she said. That's right. But yeah, it's Anthony. He just walked away. He just got up on the bed, and now he's Roman. Stop, Roman. Stop. I don't need you to come here. So again, I know this is like this has been such a oh my god, it has upset so many people. And I understand it's $300, and what doesn't make any sense, and I will agree with what people said, like the diorama, the diorama that goes on top of it is like $1.25 or $1.15, I think. So I don't know where they came up with $300. I know people thought that there was two of them for $300. Maybe they should have gone a little bit less, but again, it is being made. I guess we'll wait and see how well it actually does, but it's definitely something interesting that they decided that they were going to do. So here's the turtle van inside of it, shrunk. So the big turtle van fits with relative ease. Put down the antenna, it looks like. But for the most part, I mean, that thing's going to fit in there without a problem if you bought a $250 turtle wagon to go with it. But there's supposed to be, I think they said 3 other ones. What was this, Lawrence? You should know, Lawrence. You order the reissue, right? Yeah, no. So, but that's been the topic of controversy. But again, it's over 2 feet long. It is a really big play set. But with that said, it is just a couple of sewer pipes, a couple of holes in the wall so they can come through. I know, go ahead. That's what she said. Ed, you're just on a roll today. If it fits there without a problem, that's what she said. Do they need to disassemble the van to get it out of small doors? That's a really good question. Don't ask logical things. We're grown men playing with toys. All right? Oh my gosh. And Allison says you can make most of that using Dollar Tree material. I agree, you could. Again, like, listen, I have all these walls. I know that people have noticed in my background and everything. They're really cheap to print up. Get them off Thingiverse. They were free. You can create your own. Again, it's going to be a little bit different, but it'd be your own thing. So, but it's kind of up to you. Yes, Ed, you could, but it wouldn't be NECA official. But here's the whole thing. Like again, people don't have to buy it. Like, that's the whole thing. Personally, do I think it's overpriced? Yeah, I mean, I do. I mean, the Dragonfly was $275. The Hiss tank. I mean, I just had someone make a comment on my video about our classified vehicles. 6-inch vehicle is too big. He just made a comment. And he said, "I think $300 for that Hiss tank. I have to see it, but it's too expensive. You know, I can. You know," he said something about starting off his 3D printer. Listen, if you're going to 3D print a Hiss tank, you're going to spend a good amount of money, and it's not going to look like what the HasLab is going to be. Again, it's for everyone to decide. But when it comes to like something like the HasLab, that thing's never going to lose its value. It's always going to be worth at least $300. And again, with the figures, it's going to be worth more. I have a feeling they're not going to be selling many of these. But if it's a NECA Direct, you got to order through NECA, I don't know if they're ever going to go on sale. So, let's see here. So many pictures I have here. Okay. So, So again, like they're showing you how it fits, and again, if it's as tall as if it's over 12 inches tall, you're gonna be able to fit these figures in there really easily. It does look nice, but then when they talk about the accessories not being part of it, that's really what they should have done, is thrown all this in there. Not the figures, but all the accessories. Said it's $300 for the VHS player, the TV, everything like that. Then maybe people wouldn't have complained, but people are going to complain no matter what. But you kind of gave them a reason to. Luckily, I'm not a turtle guy, but again, this could have been something that could have been used for so many different things. So it does have, so it does have the roof on it. I can already hear Bobby making comments about it has walls, a floor, a ceiling. And so here is the playscape that's going to go on top of it, which I believe is the exact same one that you can order on BBTS for $1.25. This is the turtle one, but it's the same height. So you can see how big it is. Now, how this thing ends up being $1.25 and the underbody is $300, I think that's where everyone is really like, Neff, what are you thinking? Again, I say the same thing, but hey, not really my problem. All right, so next thing I want to discuss quickly, hoping I don't freeze, so I brought it up, is I'm going to go back to this. And I know I've talked about, hey, you know what? You don't have to like things. You don't have to buy stuff, but I got to be honest when it comes to things. Oops. And share the screen here. So we got to talk a little bit about the Cat Slayer. Now, I saw this thing in person. It's massive. It is massive. And I truly do believe that if it turns out the way that it looks, it's worth $750 and then whatever tax is going to be. So close to $800, maybe even a little bit more. And again, I say $750 because you have to pay for shipping and handling. You cannot get around it. There's no Pulse Premium where you can get it for free or even pick it up at Mecca. Quickly, let's see. Sean Stuff says, maybe the upper levels are cheaper to rope customers into buying the layer like a boss leader. Maybe. I mean, again, if people want it, I'm not going to question, if someone wants to get that. But the numbers don't seem to work just from the outside looking in. So I saw this thing at PowerCon. I know I've talked about it. I was actually with Ed I think I was with Ed when I first saw it. Oh no, I was actually by myself. And I just kind of came around and I'm like, holy shit, I think it's big. And this is someone who grew up with the aircraft carrier, and again, got the aircraft carrier in '85 as a kid when I was still a much smaller person. So it was that much bigger. This thing is massive. Now, the bet that Mega J and I had was that I said I didn't think this thing was going to fun. I think he said I'll bet you a Pepsi or a Coke. Sorry, Coke. Didn't have Coke at PowerCon. So I said this thing wouldn't fund. And I was talking to someone else at PowerCon, another YouTuber, another toy tuber. He has as much love for Super 7 as I did. I didn't know this. I won't mention who it is, but he had as much love. And he was staring at the thing the whole damn time as he was working someone's booth. And he said the same thing that I said. They were never going to let this thing fail. And I agree 100%. But this is my problem. Now, it jumped up right away. It jumped up the moment it was released. And then San Diego Comic-Con came. The Ghost was shown off. I thought it really kicked it in the nuts because now there's going to be people that were split. The Dragonfly had just finished. People had just backed 5 of those. I did not. This thing comes out. It's $750 is what you're going to pay. $800, whatever. And it jumped up to a certain point. Then it stalled. And then it staggered at like 2,100 something for a while. And then all of a sudden, it jumped 1,000, roughly 1,000. And I went, oh, that was odd. And they said, oh, we opened up the ordering to, or we're showing off the international numbers. And again, I'm sitting there going, they're computers. They don't give a shit where you're from. But what do I know, right? They don't really give a shit where you're from. But whatever. But here's my problem and why I call bullshit. This thing has barely moved since it went over 3,000. It has barely moved in what, 2-3 weeks? And like that other toy tuber said, they were never going to let this thing fail. I am with you. I was with 100%. I'm like, yep, I'm with you. Now, again, if you get what they show you, it is worth it. But I just have to talk about it. If this thing doesn't hit 4,000, even come close to 4,000, by the time it ends in 27 days, come on, you know it's bullshit. They fudged the numbers just to make it work so they could make sure it got funded, because last thing they would want is something like this to fail. I'll be selling compatible litter box for $150. Not a bad idea. It looks like I finally made it back for a stream. Well, good, you almost missed it because I was gone when my camera decided to die. So it's been interesting. Was that Heidi Crash, another channel member? Thank you very much. I love when people are able to join after they missed all the fun. Now that we have 49 people, everyone, listen, if you are not subscribed to Hella Dope Toys, I want you guys to go to Hella Dope Toys right now. Don't leave the stream. Open up another window. Open up your phone. Go to Hella Dope Toys on their YouTube. Subscribe. Let's see if we can hit 500 by the end of the stream. Now, I have a feeling we won't, because even if we have 70 people, I know a lot of people there's a lot of cross streamers between us and them. So that was my rant about that thing. That was my rant about that. Again, I don't think there's just something about those numbers that don't work. But that's just me. I don't know anything. I'm just a little toy tuber in this world. All right. So let's get back to finishing up the toy news. Again, if you're new to the channel, understand this is exactly what you get. I'm going to ramble on about absolutely nothing for quite some time. Sometimes we're going to have technical difficulties. Today we had a big technical difficulty when the camera just decided to die. So now I will be spending my money on that to get a new camera because I don't like where this camera is. Not to mention, once I get the new computer anyway, I gotta have a different camera anyway. So first, I want to say once again, thank you and Action Figs for the super chat to help get the new camera after mine died while live streaming. Wow. Then I'll have to have a backup, because if I didn't have the laptop, then I'd be absolutely screwed. I have to go on my phone or something. Okay. So let's share the screen again. Almost done with the toy news. Then we're going to get into the topic. We haven't had a topic in quite some time. There's been no topic. We've just been so much toy news, so many cons. So let's get into this. if it comes up. Of course, it's not. It's just sitting here. You know, if you can't laugh when you have technical difficulties, then you're going to scream. I'm not going to scream. All right. All I'm asking, there we go. So I think Bobby posted this today. This is what the new figures are going to look like. The new packaging for the figures. My guess is one of the reasons this is probably going to cut down the cost, so he can cut down to $2, where he's going from $32 per figure to the $30 figures. Now, this is really going to force some people that are, you know, in-box collectors and openers to buy two. I've said before, I don't understand why anyone that collects classified buys two for in-box collecting, because you can open it up and then put it right back in. Again, it's going to go back to kind of my topic of for next week. You should not be buying toys as your investment for your future retirement. We're seeing way too much of that. I'm tired of hearing people whine and cry about the unfortunate fact that certain figures aren't worth as much anymore. Listen, they're modern figures. They're not supposed to be worth a lot of money right now. So this is the new packaging. Doesn't look bad. You can tell it's a lot less cardboard, a lot less plastic, same amount of figure. I guess that's all that really matters. So this is what it's going to look like going forward. Again, I think this will probably force a few people to buy a little bit more. But this is probably how he's able to bring down his cost by $2 a figure, which isn't a bad thing, because no one else is bringing down the cost of anything. Everyone wants to keep going up. Allison says here, that's cool looking card, very basic, but basic and simple. Let the figure stand out. I agree. You are 100% correct. Yeah, these are his 6-inch line. Well, he only has 6-inch line. All his figures are 6-inch figures. They're compatible with classified. This is another Steel Brigade. This is the Desert Steel Brigade. So I will definitely, I think it looks good. Again, it looks way better than how gigantic the retro card for for G.I. Joe is. It's so awful. Commander of Cobra says, wait, toys aren't used for retirement funds? I got 10 years to find a new retirement plan. Hey, dude, listen, man. As much as I hear people constantly whine and cry about it, man, not a real fan of the packaging, but I don't keep it anyway. That's the whole thing. The one thing you got to understand, again, everything that I see from Bobby, he expects people to open these figures up and play with them. I really, and so I don't think he really cares. Not to mention, you've seen him taking more and more away from the boxing. So yeah, let's see. Random Diorama says, "What's up, man? An hour and a half left of the soothing tones of Michigan." Elizabeth craps out. Well, you know what? I was able to keep sound. What I might not have is video. If I lose one more camera, then I'm kind of screwed. All right. So then there's this here. So here's the Vanguard. Here's everything that's going to come with the Vanguard. This is the base. So it's $185. So you're looking at a little over $200 after taxes. I don't know. You're probably $220 after taxes and shipping. Now, is he going to ship this thing for $8? That's a whole other story. Or will shipping be, $18, $19? This thing is large. So for them to ship it, at the $8 like everything else, though he's shipped big, huge boxes full of figures, so maybe he will. But this is the tan one. This is was this the one that he wanted? Matthew says $8 flat ship. I have a feeling that $8 flat shipping is not going to apply to this, and I could be completely wrong, but yeah. Okay, so the gray color won the vote. All right, so the gray color won the vote, but he wanted this one, so, which I thought was pretty hilarious. Like, he didn't get what he wanted, so he's like, I'm still going to do it. So the gray one is going to be the Steel Brigade truck. And then this tan one, so the Mark II, is going to be the one with the Valiverse logo on it and everything. Or action. I don't know. Why is that the Valiverse? I don't understand. Like, I don't know. So you have the winch here. You have the machine guns for the front, or for the top, and then for the back. The bullets, deterrent, shovel, blast effects, which really look sharp. In person, it does look really good. And then you're going to get a figure with it. So here was the one that won that he didn't think was going to win. Yeah, I know. I don't think it's a need for me either. Not right now. But again, seeing it in person, it is. I mean, I don't think it looks bad. It's hard not to see the armored PT Cruiser after it gets brought up. But seeing it in person, and again, I know that it's 110% scale, so it will be a little bit smaller, but it's still not going to be that much smaller. But here's everything that you get with it. So you get the vehicle. That's good. Opening doors, working front tires, rubber tires, working winch, removable hatch, opening trunk, shovel, twin gun turret, muzzle flash, M240 with control arm, gas cans times 2, figure driver, tow hook. It's 20 inches long. So I have a feeling we're going to see a lot of different colors. What does Random say? I think those colors wash the details out a bit in the photos. Let's see here. Are you talking about the gray or the tan? I think this one looks, honestly, I think this one looks better. But it does remind me of the Stinger that recently was released, where they have a lot of gray doors to it. Yeah, so the tan looks really good in person. Ed, what did you think? The gray one at the show was to scale. The tan was, well, okay. I did not notice that there was a difference. I have to take a look. Ed, you saw it in person. Which one what color did you think was better? Well, I mean, listen, Capitan, you can have your opinion, and that's cool. I probably won't be buying it, but again, Valiverse is something that I do cover, even though I'm considered a complete hater of it. But no, again, not everyone likes it, and you don't have to like it. Like I said, it's one of those things you can pass by. But again, I'm kind of the same way. Like, hey, I could pass by, Super 7 stuff, but I'm still going to have my opinion on it. So Ed says, I like the gray, but that's what I voted for. You gotta say that I'm not. Mr. Wonderful says, I like the black one the most, but the gray is the option I would go for with the 2. Yeah, they're so universal because everything's kind of mix and match there. I'm kind of surprised the black didn't win, to be honest. It probably was the sharpest and made the most sense. But I like the tan. I in person, I think they look way better. But again, for me, Hasbro is about to give us a whole bunch of different vehicles, and I just don't know what the hell I'm gonna do. I mean, I'm out of room. Money's getting tight, we do what we got to do, I guess, right? All right. So quickly, I believe I showed these the GI Joe. There's not much news again. Um, look, I like this. Veritas. I voted black, but still getting 2. See, I can't. Pizza. You're right. Not praising something is hate these days. You are absolutely correct. And believe me, I read every single comment that is put on any of my videos. I watch and read what the people say, and it's kind of funny that I can have one person say one thing on the same video and another person say something the exact opposite. Where I'm a hater of one thing, hater of Valaverse, but then I'm a lover of Valaverse, and then I have someone say that I hate classified, but then they say I'm a shill. It's always comical. So I know that Destro was shown, but I didn't see any other pictures. So I gotta say, having the 230s, if I had the money, if I had the space, this would be something on my docket to get, because these things look really good. They go for like 175 to 185 now. So they're right in range. They're actually a little bit cheaper than a lot of the 12-inch figures. The articulation is amazing. What they come with. Not how they made Destro jumping like this, because I don't know of anything that you can use to do it. Seems like every Destro now has to have a Mars suitcase to go with him, whether it be Mezco, whether it be classified. And now 3-0, everybody's got to give Destro his suitcase. They look good, but can't do with 6. I agree with you. And like I said, I only bought those 2. But they just look so nice. The fighting code names Punk Showing is the name of my band. Well, you know what? I need a song from them. I need a song from you then, huh? Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Maybe that needs to be a shirt. A show with toys. How about that? I think a lot of this is going to be out of order. I think we're going to be bouncing back and forth. So here's the Cobra Commander. I think we're going to see bouncing between the two. So here's a couple of things that Cobra Commander comes with. Again, it looks really nice. I like the cape. He doesn't have the bad boots that all the Cobra Commanders so far in the classified line have come. Like these cowboy boots, they don't really stand very well. You got to do really some good maneuvering to get those things to stand. Cape comes off. Again, I think this thing looks awesome. It's still we don't have the bent helmet like we see on the card backs of the classified one that's coming. Again, why are they doing that? But you get these in some wonderful posters. I did not realize Demando was so limited with their articulation, because I don't really pay attention too much to them. But last night on Hella Dope Toys, they were showing it off, and they were showing off the Magneto, and there's really limited articulation on it. Captain says, "See, Punk, I don't collect 12-inch G.I. Joe, but these are gorgeous." Yeah, I don't either. Like I said, I have 2 of them. It is G.I. Joe, and again, what you see Hot Toys go for, what you see the Mondos are going for, and the fact that I have 2 of these, the Snake Eyes and the Storm Shadow, you can probably see them both because of the stupid camera angle that I'm at. I gotta say, they just look really good. And again, for under $200, and I know that's awful to say. We're talking about a toy, but this is not a toy. This is a display. I know a lot of stuff we do with our 6-inch figures. We make them display. I do it, with my 4-inch figures, my 1/18 scale, you know. But yeah, I mean, they just look really nice. And again, it's just, listen, I'm going to show off the things that I like and what I think looks good. I do like this. Like, I wish I could get a classified in like doing this type of pose. His boots actually look like they're on the wrong foot. At least this front boot right here. His right foot looks like he's wearing a left. Maybe it's just the angle. But yeah, it just looks nice. Although I don't see a lot of accessories with this figure. Snake Eyes he's got knives, 2 swords, an Uzi, a pistol, grenades. Storm Shadow has nunchucks, bow and arrows, 2 swords. I mean, they got all kinds of stuff, and Cobra Commander and Destro don't seem to have all that much. But there you can kind of see how big he is. So, in centimeters. Centimeters. We use inches, dude. Sorry to all my foreign followers here. We use inches. So here's Destro. Again, like I said, they kind of got mixed in. He's got a separate gauntlet. I wonder what these other little pieces are. There's no blast effects. That's disappointing because they actually have ports for the guns, but there's no blast effects that are going to fit. But again, I just think these things look really sharp. And again, if I had the room and a little bit of extra money, I definitely would be all in on these things. So, and maybe he can actually hold this without dropping it. Unlike the Super 7, which unfortunately that thing wants to fall all the time. All right. Quickly here, Sean stuff. At the end of the day, I'm a 49-year-old collecting children's toys. I can't take any of this seriously enough to hate on anyone. You know what? For the most part, I agree with you, Sean stuff. As long as, hey, you know what? You're creating something. As long as you're not being dishonest about things, I'm with you 100%. And you are right. Like, we are adults playing with toys, buying toys. And I have to say, like, it's so different as an adult in many ways because, you know, it's not playing the same way we did before. I know if you ever watch Payne, when he does, you know, his show, he talks about, like, when was the last time you played with your toys? And it's so different now. And what I mean by that, it's like, you know, if you follow me on Instagram, you saw my whole AWOC versus Storm Shadow thing that happened. Let me tell you, I'm just gonna say the shot of the picture of Storm Shadow kicking Blight, holding on to Roadblock while he's on the ground. Well, there was no stands to make it stand up. I sat there for about 20 minutes trying to get that figure in that position to kick. And I eventually had to use, I'll show you. I eventually had to use his sideburn, to put the foot underneath it. And the reason, if you look at it, you'll see Storm Shadow is actually grabbing the back of Roadblock in that picture is because I needed something to grab. But I think that's how we play with toys. And I'm not even a great photographer at all. I feel like I'm pretty good at posing figures, but I don't understand. I'm starting to understand, like, some of the angles. I don't understand lighting yet. And also, I don't leave my little area. That's another thing that I eventually need to start doing, is leaving this area when I start doing pictures. I see stuff that Matthew does, and it's absolutely amazing. But I don't use a camera. I use my iPhone. So, yes, that's us playing with toys. You know, and again, like, it's fun. But Sean, I think you're so right with this. Like, at the end of the day, hey, I'm 47 years old. I get for 3 hours on Monday night, 3 hours a week. I get to come on here and talk to other people from around the world that also collect toys. And it's nice just knowing that if I want to buy something, I can. You don't have to ask mom and dad. You don't have to beg for it. Sometimes you have to save up for it because sometimes the stuff is just too damn expensive. That's why I like the HasLab. They give you 45 days before they charge you. So you can iPhone. So the guy at the the Funko Pop store that I take my daughter to, this guy does all these photos of Funko Pops, and he has books of them, and they're wonderful photos, and he knows how to use. And I don't know if he still does it, but I'm assuming he probably has upgraded his phone. He was doing it all on an iPhone 8. And to get amazing shots of Funko Pops that have absolutely no articulation, I think is really hard to do, but he does some wonderful shots. He's like, yeah, I do everything on my iPhone. So very nice. Very cool to see, to be honest. So, all right. Well, we have an hour and 13 minutes to get to 3 hours. We may not get to 3 hours. I say that like every year, don't every week now, right? Matthew says here, I don't use my iPhone. My wife is the photographer. She has the good camera. She doesn't let you use it. All right. So quickly, someone do me a favor. That's Roman. He's making his presence be known. There, Tony. You wonder where Roman is? There he is. Women do magic with phone cameras. Women do a lot of magic with their phone camera. Random Diorama says, I've done almost all my pics and videos on my IG on my iPhone 8. Not that my phones are that great, but a few on DSLR. Well, yeah. The iPhone camera. I mean, I've had a bunch of guys. A lot of guys in the stream here that are starting to make review videos, and they're like, "Hey, what kind of camera do you use?" And I'm like, "Every single one." Yes, I know he's loud. Matthew, right? He is loud. You know that though. And he came in here. Every single one of my review videos is done on the iPhone. From when I had the iPhone 8 to now where I have the iPhone 14 Pro. Not Pro. I don't know. I have the good iPhone with the good camera and everything. I figured if I'm going to do everything on here, I might as well have the best camera that they have. But it really does. It's awesome. These cameras on the phones are amazing. I mean, I can't speak for Android, but I'm assuming the Android cameras are pretty good too. We can ask Tony Romo. He's the only person that I know that when I get a text, it's still in like green, because not an iMessage. Thanks a lot, Tony. You ruin everything. Yeah, you're right. There are a ton of creative toy photographers out there. And I tell you what, like, when it comes to Instagram and stuff like that, like when someone like, who was just talking about it? I was watching Oz. Yes, because it is night and day, no matter how you look at it. All right, the iPhone is wonderful. The Mac is stupid. So Mr. Home Arcade says, I use my Android for videos. The cameras, like I said, I don't have Androids, and no one in my family does. But I assume that, again, they're all the exact same, to be honest. So I was watching Oz on Toy Frenzy, and they were talking about how there's certain people that will, they follow you on IG or wherever, and they just want that follow back. And they're like, this is like stupid. I get a lot of follows, and I've found myself like if I go and I look, and if there's content that I enjoy, and like obviously toy photography, and it looks good and it's stuff that I like, I'm gonna follow you back. Like, but there's a lot of people that it's like you see that they like they start following you, and you kind of look at them and like they don't really have anything. Maybe it's their pictures of their kids and everything. I don't know you in person, so I'm not sure I really want to follow you. That sounds kind of awful, but it's like on my toy one, I want to follow other toy tubers. I'm trying to follow very few skateboarding stuff. But then again, I forget to go to my personal one. Figuratively speaking, what's going on, Lawrence? And hello, everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining us. I love when I see figuratively speaking in all the chat. So, all right, so I need someone right now. Do me a favor. Go to Hello Dope Toys. Tell me how many subscribers they have. Are we going to have a chance to get them to the 500 mark like I really wanted to? Like you said, I think there's a lot of streams that have already crossed. So I think it's going to be a hard to do. Everything that I'm saying, I need a soundboard to say that's what she said. Because God, man, absolutely crazy. 442. Come on, guys. They've only gone up like. Oh, I'm disappointed. Actually, I think most of you guys probably follow. I do want. I see all the people that are. Chatting here. I see all the regulars and the new people. I sometimes wonder, like, how many people are just. Listen, anyone that's watching right now, if you haven't posted anything in the chat, I want you guys to say hi. Just hop on and say hi here. I wonder if we have a lot of what are they called? Not drones. The bots. That's what they're called. Bots. I only got one dragonfly. I know I may seem rich from all the toys that I review, but that's because I don't have a girlfriend. But I have a kid that is going to be graduating next year, and I have to start. My ex just kind of sent me a message going like, "I'm not paying for everything," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, just tell me what you need me to pay." Fuzz Lore, I don't think I've ever seen you. Thank you for joining, jumping on here. That is awesome. And here's one of my dealers, Mr. Sergeant Reds. John, you are rich. Yeah, you'll be the first to know when that credit card says getting declined. Yeah, like I said, figurative speak. I think a lot of people have been. I think a lot of the people for Hello Dope Toys have already been, that are here that have already subscribed there. That's why I said it's going to be difficult. But again, we got 50 people watching right now. I wonder how many people, if we have a lot of bots. I don't think we do. We've been lucky enough, Matthew. We're going to say our prayers here. We've never had Pat from the Full Force come in as his sex bot and start spamming us. Well, Matt, what is this? What is his what is Pat's little sex bot thing? Len, nice to see you. I know we've seen Len here before. When you're stuck at work all the time, you're a bot. That is very true. Matthew says we have 43 likes, 53 watching. So everyone hit that like button. Naked HD, that's right. Naked HD. All right. So let's get into a topic. This one just popped up. Like I said, next week I think I'm going to do a topic about people that are, they seem to be buying toys as their retirement, as their investment. And maybe someone like Sergeant Reds and someone like Hello Toys, yes, it's their job to buy toys as their investment because they're selling them as a dealer. But unfortunately, I think there's a lot of people that are trying to do it. And like I said, these eels have brought out the worst in the G.I. Joe collectors once again. If I could remember the guy's name that's selling for $50, I would say it's driving me nuts. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I really wish they just boot him because he doesn't bring anything to the community. All right. But then this one just kind of popped up. And they were talking about on the sports radio station. And someone said, oh, yeah, if you just like snap away, I want to say it was like half the Detroit Tiger team because of how bad they've been. And I went, you know what? That's a great topic. Let's talk about toy lines that if we had the chance, we would snap half of them away. And I mean half of that toy line. I guess if we can snap the whole toy line away. Yes, Sarge is not happy about exclusives. I understand. I understand from both sides of it. Again, exclusives should be figures you don't need. Into something rather cool, not a main character. And like Sean says here, the Eels posts have been a bit much. Dude, it's been awful. Hey, it's on there, believe me. The Super 7 reaction, that, believe me, those definitely, I only grabbed a few pictures, but we're going to go through some. Wow, you know what? You see, I didn't even think about Funko Pops because there's so many in my house because my daughter collects them. But she mostly collects Stitch stuff. Yeah, see, look at that. Oh, now you're on her bad side, Tony. How about you say you snap them all away except for the Stitch stuff? All right, so let's see here. Let's bring this up. Now, I'm going to be 100% honest. I didn't spend a lot of time looking for stuff. Well, they're in your store, John. So are they toys? Okay, so the point was to snap half of it away. So you have lines that went on too long, in my opinion, right? There are, see, Sean, my daughter would be happy with seeing that. Stitch is absolutely awesome. There is no doubt about that whatsoever. And you liked him so much, you put it in twice. So my idea was like, hey, you know what? There are some lines, maybe you snap completely away, but there's some that it's just like they went on too long or they create too many figures. And I just said, hey, you know what? What a fun topic. We haven't had a topic in a while. Yes, Ohana means family, and family means no one gets left behind. What did we just see that? We were watching something. God, I was just watching something. Oh, it's in the new Arnold Schwarzenegger TV show, Fubar. And the one guy goes, Ohana means family, and family means no one gets left behind. And she's like, that's from Lilo and Stitch. All right. So let's see here. Present here. All right. Window. So we'll start with some of the 80s stuff. So I threw in Star Wars because I think it is the biggest toy line I think it's the biggest toy line of the 80s. I mean, yeah, it died. It didn't last very long when you really look at it, but it's so prolific with everything. Again, G.I. Joe is everything to me, but Is there anyone that would snap half of the original Star Wars line away? Because I don't think there is. I don't think that Star Wars. I actually think Star Wars didn't last long enough. If there's anything that Star Wars did that should be snapped away, would be those mini rigs, and those are actually pretty cool for, let's say, GI Joe and different things like that. So. He says, nope, it's over 3 movies. Yeah, it really didn't even last that long. Like PNC, see again. Okay, if you haven't watched Fubar, you guys need to watch Fubar. It's so damn good. Like, it was really, really good. All right, so when you say Power of the Force, do you mean Power of the Force in 95 or the Power of the Force of the 80s? See, I don't think there's anything that I would snap away. I don't think there's one thing that I would snap away here. I think even though the line died because there were no movies. So Matthew says so 95, but to me, that's different. That's a whole different. I was wondering how how to discuss it, but it's like this line here is completely different than what the 95 is. And believe me, I have a lot to say about the 95 line. So I'm going to guess no one would snap away the original Kenner Star Wars line, half of it, right? I don't think there was any bad figures. They were all characters that we saw in the movie, even though some of them we may not have noticed. There weren't, it's not like how we have, 84 Snake Eyes. The amount of Han Solos that you got were the Han Solos that you saw, in the movies. So, then there's Motu. This is one that I would say maybe went on a little too long. All right. This is kind of funny. I'm building a catapult to launch the 90s figures onto Van Dyke. So understand Van Dyke is the main road, and it's a pretty busy road that his store is on. It makes me laugh thinking about a catapult shooting Power of the Force, the little statues that were the McFarlane stuff in the 90s. So Motu, would anyone snap like half of the line away? I believe like the early waves, they were all really good. I think once you got past Hordak, you started getting some really, I think you got some pretty bad figures. But are there half the figures that you would get rid of? Or even half, half the vehicles? I always thought the vehicles were really unique. That dragon one that it would spin around and walk. I always absolutely loved that one. There was the what was the one that had the flipping treads that would try and go over everything? Snow Wolf says maybe a quarter. They got. That's what I'm saying. And at the end, like I remember. I mean, I've seen them from just collecting toys and stuff. But yeah, I think at the end they really got stupid. Attack Track. Thank you, Sarge. Thank you, John. Attack Track. Yes. I love that. I thought the Motu vehicles. I thought Motu did such a good job. The whole Master Universe. I thought they did such a good job because they really found a way to integrate barbarians and future weapons, future vehicles into their line seamlessly when no one was really looking at it and going like, well, that doesn't make any sense. Like no one ever questioned like, hey, why do they have laser guns and swords? It's something that doesn't really work. The Battle Ram, I mean, I'm not going to go as far as saying it's the best vehicle ever because with G.I. Joe. But the Battle Ram was awesome because it was two vehicles. You pop that thing out, and now you have this flying sky sled, which is very disappointing that the Origins line, they only made the sky sled, didn't do the whole thing. Very disappointing in my opinion, but hey, what can you do, right? We wanted a Filmation accurate attack track for so long. I'd have to look and see exactly what the Filmation was. Hold on. Sarge says, I legit had a guy want to sell 5 storage units of Power of the Force from the 90s. Listen, when we get to the Power of the Force, I'd have a lot more money if I didn't buy Power of the Force. So I'm going to guess to get rid of half of the Motu, no one would do that, right? There are some stinkers, but I think that for the most part, I think it's going to be hard for anyone to want to get rid of the 80s stuff. Now it holds such a sentimental value for all of us. This is an interesting one. You guys know my feelings on G.I. Joe. It is the greatest toy line of all time. It is what I played with as a kid. But I do think that when you got into the 90s, most of the stuff was trash. I know Articulated Chad, he has his Neon and Night. There are some vehicles that you kind of look at, some of the figures that you look at, and you kind of think they were kind of cool, but oh my God, there were some bad vehicles. Now, you go to 82, 83, 84, 85, 86. Everything is awesome for the most part. There's a few stinkers. Crystal Ball, Psych Out, Raptor. Those are figures that if you snapped your fingers and you made them go away, I wouldn't care. Sean here says, I love G.I. Joe. Everything when the neon stuff started has to go. See, but remember, with Thanos, there's no rhyme or reason. You didn't know who was going to get zapped away, who was going to be snapped away. Other than it wasn't going to be any of the original Avengers, because then how would they come together to defeat him? But I think the G.I. Joe got so bad at the end, although there were still some good, I think there were some pretty good vehicles. And to be honest, my collection, when you get into the 90s, is very scarce. I don't have very much, and most of the stuff that I do have was either given to me by someone or it was just picked up in a lot. And I cannot believe that I didn't even. Listen. Last night I was trying to think of toys. I didn't even think of Transformers. I just see G2 here. I'm like, oh my God. Then I think of G1 Transformers. I didn't even think about Transformers. We were talking about Transformers though. Gotta remember to send you to classify Crystal Ball when he comes out. Listen, I will probably get it. Like I said, I will be a completist with classified. Until I'm not. And what I mean by that, until I miss one, I will continue to get it. So, let's see. Raw Talk, Raw Deal. I'm all in on O-Ring. Joe's, honestly, everything after the O's, I get Thanos Snap classified included. Oof. Now, to each their own. Luckily, we don't have to worry about there being a real Thanos. The O-Rings, listen, they hold a very special spot in my heart. Even that awful shipwreck. But I think to snap them away, I would be so scared that we would lose some good figures. But honestly, through 82, 83, 84, 85. Were there any bad figures? I don't think so. Deep Six, maybe, because he was 2 points of articulation. I mean, he was just bad. Matthew, Crystal Ball was amazing in the Mike Costa Cobra series. Go listen to Wordburglar's interview with him for Armor 3. Yeah, Crystal Ball, Raptor, Psych Out, they were just awful. They were just awful. I'm sorry. Yeah. All right, so I would say no one's going to snap away to G.I. Joe. While we're on here, like I said, I didn't take a picture. Transformers. I know Transformers got a little weird there. I remember there was the Transformers that no longer transformed. Something I couldn't understand. I believe I watched Dan Larson, was it, that talked about the Headmasters and what their Deep Six was bad in so many levels. Like, he just sunk down. He had that pump that you were supposed to be able to, like, get him to float. The guy never did. Action Masters were the ones that didn't transform, which again made no sense whatsoever. And then you said, am I right? Because Pizza Face is saying Pretenders, Action Masters here. Hey, didn't Deep Six have the pump you can play with? Yeah, well, yes, he had the first penis pump for us. I don't remember ever being able to get Deep Six to work. To be honest, I don't remember Deep Six ever being able to work properly. Hold on, wait a minute. Wade says, sorry, unpopular opinion, but I've been waiting for G.I. Joe in this scale for a whole life so O-rings can go bye-bye. Well, again, it's not about having one or the other. It's just about where my thing is, did some of these lines just produce too many figures that you kind of got to the point where you're like, you know what? They were awful. I understand what you're saying about it. I love the classified, obviously. But I also love the O-ring. So when you have Transformers, like I said, I totally forgot. I don't know how. That's how much I don't collect Transformers. But I liked Transformers growing up. I mean, I had some. Would you snap away half of the Transformers from the original? No, I didn't collect Beast Wars. I thought Beast Wars were stupid. I actually thought there was a decent plot in the movie, although the movie was really bad. That just came out, that Beast Wars movie. Did not like it at all. Again, I don't know why they have such a hard time making a good Transformers movie. But so Pizza Face says here, as a whole, I think you can, as long as you don't snap G1. Again, and like I said, there are different, again, like, I'm not sure where the line gets blurred, especially with Transformers, because I didn't collect them. There's been so many different versions of Transformers. But I don't think I would. I mean, I don't care that you had... I don't care that there were so many repaints that you had, Thundercracker, and Starscream, and... Who was the other one? They were all the same color, but they were all awesome. You had... multiple Autobots that were the same. Ultra Magnus had all the armor, so he would look different than Optimus Prime. But I don't think that I would snap anything away. Wade, I read it. I'm not reading it. I see it. I'm not reading it. And Johnny tends to agree. Beast Wars was stupid. I don't know if you're talking about the movie or the toys. I thought they both were pretty stupid. All right, so there's the Transformers. No one seems to want to snap half of those away. And I'm talking about the 80s ones. But GoBots got brought up. I didn't grab GoBots either. I'm going to say you can snap away half the GoBots. Because I think after Leader 1 and Sidekill, most of them are pretty bad. Is that safe to say? That Leader 1, Sidekill, I don't know any of their other names. The black car was decent. The little scooter was stupid. I'm not saying I didn't like the GoBots, but after the first core characters, I don't remember really liking any of them. And again, I know they came out before Transformers, but they were just tiny. And I talked about it with Digital Diarrhea because I think he said he liked GoBots more than Transformers. When the GoBots made those bigger size ones that looked like Transformers, oh my god, they were just awful. They were so bad. And the GoBot cartoon didn't help anything because they didn't have guns. They shot lasers out of their fists, which was so cheesy, but very helpful as a kid because then you didn't have to worry about losing the guns. Raw Talk Raw Deal says, we'll all be gone before classifieds can complete all of the Grail HasLabs. Although they're good 6-inch figures, they will not compete with a fully but O-ring. Always you can compete. Can you complete the O-rings? I would never complete the O-rings. There's just no way. Man, I just don't ever see there getting there. Sean Stuff says the GoBot that was a cap gun. I don't remember that. Maybe if I saw it, I didn't bring it up. I don't know. Listen, a lot of you guys are newer. My computer is so bad that if I try and bring up anything, that's why you don't see me bring anything up like other streamers. Hopefully when I get my new computer, I won't have this issue anymore. And I keep talking about this new computer like it's in the future. And it still is. I'm still waiting for it. Hopefully in the next month or so. That's why you don't ever see me bring stuff up. But I'm going to have to look it up later. Sean says, even as a kid, I didn't understand why folks like GoBots. It was a toys grannies bought when you asked for Transformers. Well, that's just it. There's a lot of the kids that couldn't afford Transformers because Transformers are so much bigger. Also, the GoBots, you could play with Bumblebee and Cliff Jumper and those smaller mini bots that they had. So I would say, would everyone agree that we could snap away half the GoBots? There's a few people that are going to be disappointed. I hope you guys don't subscribe. Hold on. Matthew just sent me a picture of the GoBot. Okay, so Matthew just sent me a picture of the GoBot cap gun, and I'm going to say I don't remember it. I thought when I saw it, I'd be like, oh, I remember that. I do not remember that at all. But it is pretty damn cool. I got to say that. You know what? I got to say, kids are missing out on cap guns. I know that you can't run around with guns anymore, but God, cap guns were so awesome. Cap guns were like so much fun. All right. So, listen, I was trying when I was doing this. This is one I know nothing about. Turtles. So, the 80s Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm going to have to refer to you guys on these ones here. I'm glad that I can see over here on my tablet that you guys can see that I put the turtles up, but on my computer it's still not showing. So what do you guys think about the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? And these may not even be the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because I know nothing about them. Is this one that you could see snapping half of the line away? They seem to continue to remake the Turtles over and over and over. And I know I know when at the Big Turtle channel, there's a few of those out there. How many people would snap away like half of these? Half the Turtles from the 80s going into the 90s. Because again, it was well after my time. Well after my time of playing with toys. I was playing with skateboards. Yes, I play skateboards. So here's one that says, yeah, I could care less about TMNT. The OG Turtles, I hated. They had no articulation. I love the NECA modern ones. I'm just reading through some of these. Ray says TMNT were cool. Yeah, I know. So some of them were cool. So I obviously do not have the big turtle fandom here. Yet oddly enough, many of you guys stuck around through the talk of that the sewer. Though if I talked Motu, everyone would have just disappeared. John says, yeah, TMNT went nuts. That's what I'm thinking. I think they just did too much stuff. So I think now people kind of look back and they have like this infinity form. But personally, I think that this is a line that you could snap half of them away. And I'm not talking about, April and obviously the 4 Turtles, but all the guys, the weird figures that came after. But I might be completely wrong. PNC says, even as a fan, I could do without more than half. So, all right, Turtles get snapped half away. There you go, Thanos. You have snapped half the Turtles away from the early lines. Okay, so there were a few things that turned out that they didn't. There are a few things that were not images. Mask. I want to discuss Mask. Would anyone snap away half of Mask? Now, I know there are some people that, I think it was last week, I forget who it was, they said, I'm like 32 years old, I don't even know what Mask is. We told them, hey, you know what? You do need to go watch it. I think Mask was absolutely amazing. And I don't think they really brought out too many. I don't think they ever brought out too many vehicles and figures because they were just, again, even if the characters sucked, almost every vehicle, every playset was really, really good. Yeah, and yeah, I think the amount of people that want Mask brought back, and again, it's Hasbro sitting on that property, and you're going, for a company that really loves money, you sure don't want to bring back a property that I think would go completely balls out. And no, I don't want 6-inch Matt. I know, like, Chad will tell you, hey, you know what? G.I. Joe, I mean, it is a world-building line. Again, so is Star Wars. But, Black Series does really well. I don't think you could do a 6-inch line of Mask. You have to have those vehicles. I had a feeling I did put Mask in, and obviously did not show up. God, no. Dr. Pepper's awful. This is iced tea, which is no longer ice. I'm trying to get away from all the pop that I've been drinking because I'm fat and I need to lose a couple pounds. Yes, the green helicopter was awesome. The helicopter motorcycle. I had a few Mask things. I had the 57 Chevy. I had the race car. I had both bikes actually, the red bike and that green one. I never had Boulder Hill. I didn't have the main guys. I believe I only got the 57 Chevy. I think my dad bought it for me for Christmas because he liked the 57 Chevy. So I think that's the only reason why I got that. But yeah, released the same scale as the original. You know, I would love for them to do it in the 1/18 scale, Ed. Like I think getting getting them in a scale that can fit with the O-ring Joes would be awesome. With that said, if you're going to make new characters, Ed, you are right. Do it in the original scale. So then people that do have the original, and I gotta say here, like Sarge just said, he got Boulder Hill. I was just looking at these at his store the other day. I'm like, man, they're so expensive. But they're so nice because even the sculpts of Mask, they were just awesome. They were just absolutely awesome. Oh, look, Thanos has come in to actually snap away the things that we want to snap away. I think Mask with scale with G.I. Joe, it could do well. The vehicles don't have to be super expensive. Are you talking about the classified or the O-ring? Because if you're talking O-ring, I'm with you. Classified, can you imagine what was that semi? What was the semi called? How much would that be as a classified scale? That thing would be huge. But yeah, and again, like even Ramen Toys, who's doing their Mask line. You get motorcycle. So we were just talking about there was two cool motorcycles. I guess they're okay. So I guess if you look at the 6-inch scale, you could. I don't know. All right, you know what? All right, so Thanos says. Okay, so Thanos says, but I think the Joe is better in 3 3/4 scale. So you're saying you would like to see Mask brought back, but in the 6-inch scale. I have to say, sitting in front of the Ramen Toys booth, and Ed, maybe you can chime in on this. Have you seen how big the Mask vehicles are that he's making? They're pretty big, but the Camaro would be like the same size as that Charger that he has. It would be huge, especially when the wings come out. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, that would be yeah, I'm with you. Like, again, the figures would look awesome. I actually think that if you look at some of the Skeletron 6-inch figures, they kind of have that Mask look with the helmets on and everything. But man, just getting those vehicles. Speaking of Skeletron, where the hell's my Skeletron at? Where's my Robo Skull? I want it. All right. That was a lot. Superpowers. I really had to think about a lot of the different lines. So what superpowers? I don't think they made too many superpower figures. I don't think they made too many superpower figures. As a matter of fact, I think the line died before they even had a chance to come close to finishing it. So is there anyone that would snap away the superpowers? I mean, considering that McFarlane has brought it back and so many people are happy with it. Like, I know Interception Romo here. He loves the superpowers. Veritas says, no, don't touch superpowers. I was never a superpowers fan. Obviously, being a kid, you would play with them. I don't remember even having any superpowers. But yeah, I'm thinking that I had a feeling that was going to be a. I thought that that was going to be a big no to superpowers. Um, Anthony, just go buy a shirt. All of you, go buy one shirt. Support the channel. Support my camera habit because I need a new fucking camera. God damn it. I can't believe the damn camera died in the middle of everything. Oh, man. And Allison says, Superpowers gave us the best Wonder Woman action figure we've ever gotten. So I had a feeling that Superpowers would be a big no. And I'm okay with that because I don't think, I've seen all the toys. I know, and I watched Geek Dead Life and I've seen his. Yeah, I don't think that there's too many, that there are too many. They didn't get into too many stupid characters. Whoa, wait, Oz, you sleep? You usually do like 18-hour streams. All right, get some sleep. You can watch the rest. Oh, the camera won't die. Oh boy. How about the difference between a scar and a car? I think I'm missing something. Yeah, he's resting for his stream. If you haven't checked out Ostradamus on Saturday nights, he honestly will go like 5-6 hours. It's crazy. Yeah. All right. So superpowers, they stay. Let me see what else I have here. So what was the Toy Biz Marvel? Now I did have some of the Toy Biz Marvel. This is the 90s, right? Maybe late 80s, early 90s. And Travis is, I'm about to drop too. Grab some sleep. Oh, Travis, we will talk to you soon. I had a feeling that you were going to chime in and say that. Yes. So Toy Biz, I can tell you for a fact, most toy stores are not big fans of them, considering there's a lot of mint on card that are just kind of stuck there. But what do you guys think? The Toy Biz Marvel, I know there's still a whole bunch of them. Do you think that line went down a bad path? You could snap half of them away and still look at it and be like, you know what? This is a pretty good toy line. Thanos says, some characters still never got remade. I had later Cyclops, Vinyl Trenchcoat Gambit. And John says he's got the catapult to launch him into Van Dyke. Okay, so man, wow, I'm actually kind of surprised by this, man. Like, so Raw Deal says snap half of them up. Ed says the same thing. Capitan says snap them up. We got John's. Were they legends? I'm talking about like the 5-inch figures, or were they 4-inch figures, like 4.5-inch figures? All the Toy Biz females. What's wrong with the Toy Biz females? Why would you snap them away? I'm just kind of starting to pull lines now, like as I'm starting to think of like new lines, or not new lines, but old lines. But I'm interested why you say all the Toy Biz legends, or all the females? Why would you snap those away? I don't know. What are they called? I don't know what they were called. They were just I don't know. They were Marvel figures, dude. I was too busy riding a skateboard, not giving a shit. Yeah, they were like 4-inch figures, like 4.5 feet. I don't know. I sold a whole bunch of them. Made a whole bunch of money off them. That's all I know. I bought them at a lot, and I sold a whole bunch. Oh my gosh. Yeah, the 4-inch figures. Okay. It seems like everyone has a different name for them. I assumed everyone would know which ones I'm talking about. They were mostly the X-Men. Mostly the X-Men figures. I'm referring to the Toy Biz 6 is okay. Now I gotta say, I am not well versed in the difference between the Toy Biz Marvel Legends and the Hasbro Marvel Legends. I know that Hasbro, when they got the license, they kept the Marvel Legends name. I don't know if they're supposed to kind of mix together. So, okay. So I think most people would say we could snap away at least half of the Marvel Legends. Or not the Marvel. Nobody. We still have 22 minutes. All right, 22 minutes. All right. I know. You want to say hi to everyone? Say hi. Come here. Say hi. Okay. Bye. Oh, say hi. I know. Look, the camera's over here this time. I don't see. Look, you're trying to look over there. Oh, I know. I love you too. But I can't do this right now. All right. There's no one here. Just go lay down for a bit. All right. You'll be fine. I promise you. You stay home all day by yourself without going out. All right. Go. You can sit underneath me. I don't care. No, I can't now. I know. No, I can't. All right. You'll stop after a while. All right. So this is one that I think might. What about these Spawn figures? I kind of went hog wild with Spawn. When they first came out, I thought the detail was wonderful. I never was really looking at a lot of articulation. I didn't read the comic. But was there a point that you could snap away? If you want to know what you can get at a really cheap price at Sergeant Red's, you are learning right now. Well, then neither are the Star Wars figures of the 80s. What's to do with Mutt? Are you new? Like, do you not know all about Roman? He's our mascot. I even got shirts of him if you're interested in a shirt. Roman will always make some sort of appearance. I used to always have one kid here that was able to take care of him and let him out. But right now I don't. So if you're here long enough, you will normally see Roman. If my daughter was here, I would have had him up here a little bit earlier, but I was trying to keep him at bay. Okay. So I collected a lot of these, and then it kind of got to the point where I hated them. Although I do still have the original Spawn, and I have the Meathead Spawn, which I thought would be worth money. Once again, it's not. I had Violator. I had Clown. I had all of these, all of them, the first wave or so. And then I thought they kind of got, there was too many. Not to mention, a lot of his figures that he had, those early 90s, those were the packaging were the ones that, like, by the time you finally got the figure out, if your parents saw your wrists, they would have had you in a psych ward because it would have looked like you tried slashing your wrists, because that plastic, all it did was just slash away at your wrists and your hands. Everyone probably thought you were a cutter. um, all right, so PNC, he gave all his y'all. I had a feeling that these ones were going to be an easy snap. People are definitely not into this. I cannot really blame anyone. These things just, they were just there for quite some time. All right, so let's get the Power of the Force 95. And I'm just going to say, right off the bat, snap half this shit away. I had another picture, and it didn't show up. So this figure here, this Boba Fett with Half Moon, let me tell you, the amount of different Boba Fett's, even back then, because there was Boba Fett with a Half Moon, then there's Boba Fett with a Half Moon where the serial number was .00, and then there's a Boba Fett with a Half Moon with the serial number was a .01, and then there's a very rare variant, if I believe, the Boba Fett with a full circle with the .01, and then there was Luke Skywalker in Jedi. There's Luke Skywalker in Jedi with gray. Then there was the long-bladed lightsabers. Then they had the short-bladed lightsabers. Then they had short-bladed lightsaber and a long-bladed lightsaber tray. I bought so many versions and variations of these fucking figures that it was a fun ride looking for them, searching for them, the hunt. But oh my gosh, if you snap half of these away, probably more, I would be perfectly fine with that. Allison says here, can't snap those. Half of us wouldn't be collecting today if not for this line. Oof. But again, if you snapped the later half, we'd still be collecting because we would have wanted bodybuilding Han Solo and bodybuilding Darth Vader. I don't know why does Darth Vader have body like that? These look like a lot of snaps by John. Hawk Skywalker and Han Solo. I think the funniest thing was my buddy and I, we went searching for these when they first came out, and we both worked out, and we all looked at them and went, why the fuck are they all goddamn giant steroid freaks? And Chewbacca too, man. Like Chewbacca, like he was wiry, but someone along the line said, listen, we are going to jack these figures up, man. They're going to be on steroids. I think some of them came with accessories and needles they could stick in their ass. And all of this, all these swole up first wave, and yet not one of them looked worse than Princess Leia, who looked like a fucking monkey. All right? She looked more like a monkey than any of the AWOC figures that I've seen so far. That is still one of the worst sculpts that I have ever seen. But this line, it went from the red card, and then it went to the green card, and I bought all the ones on the green card. And I was buying two. One to keep in box, one to open. Let me, just so you know, the ones open aren't worth any less than the one on card. Johnny Reno says here, I didn't care for the variations of those. I've got several boxes in storage and I need to get rid of them. Yes. You talked about an overproduced line, and then it went into the new movies. I remember buying all of the episode 1 figures. We went to Meijer here because it's 24 hours. I will never forget this. So we go into Meyer, and they were dropping at like 12 o'clock because it's 24 hours. So we go in there, it's me and my buddy, and there's this guy and his wife, and they're kind of talking to us, or they chatted with us a little bit, but they were talking to each other. And then the figures came out, we grabbed them, and then I would never forget the guy looking and going, "Okay, Mom, we can go." And my buddy and I were like, "Holy shit, you gotta be kidding us. We do not look this bad, right? Like we're not that bad, right? Like we're not sitting here like we thought this was his wife, and it ends up being his mom, and we're just like, oh shit, man." So I think it's safe to say the power of the Force and the lines that came out after this. I am kind of with what Allison said. Like, I could get I would not get rid of all of them because I did have a lot of fun hunting them. They did bring back the vehicles, the Falcon, all that stuff. I really wish I would have bought an AT-AT, and I did not. But to snap half of these away, over half. Thanos, you can snap half of these away. You snap a little bit more because we don't want you to snap the G.I. Joes and the Motu, Transformers, Mask. So, all right. I'm trying to think. Do I have any? What other 90s toys were there, guys? So I was so removed from really collecting in the 90s because I was doing other things. The only thing that I ever really collected still was the G.I. Joe. I was still picking up some stuff in 95. Like I said, I was still collecting stuff, mostly that. I remember the Star Trek figures that came out, the 1701 series. Then they had those, and then the Barkley went up to 3,000. I actually got 2 of those. Bullwinkle 880. They look amazing. Every one of them can do 50 push-ups in a row. John, I don't even think I need to mention Star Trek. I don't think there's one person here that would say that you don't need to snap the Star Trek figures away. I don't even know if Star Trek collectors collect Star Trek. I mean, God, man, just Star Trek was like. Like Sean says, as a Trekkie, I say snap them playmates. Was there anything fun about Star Trek figures? Like they were boring, just absolutely boring. Let's see here. Snap the franchise Lego lines and bring back Castle Space Pirate and Top. Oof. So as someone who never collected any type of Lego, my dad did not like Lego for some reason. I don't really understand. I will say this. Again, if you want to collect something for it to be valuable in 10 years, it is Legos. Those things do not go down in price. But I understand exactly what you're saying. Everything is now like based on a property. And they're based on a property, but they're just not like, they're not world building like a lot of people think they should be. And I mean, I think that too. Well, wait a minute. Making Worf get on with Tasha Yar was fun. What about Data? You didn't make Data get on with Tasha? Since that was the first person he had sex with until the Borg Queen. Who did? I didn't say I didn't like Lego. I just never had Lego. My dad didn't like. I don't know. I think he didn't like that they were too messy, or maybe he saw the price tag. I don't know. Or maybe he just knew that he'd bought me every G.I. Joe figure there's no reason for me to have it. I don't know. All right. So let's get into some of the more modern stuff. All right. I think this one might go. This one might be split right down the line here. We're just gonna go at NECA in general, there's the NECA Ultimate line. Is that something you would snap half away? Do you think there's too much NECA stuff out there? Because I think most of the NECA stuff looks really nice. I know that it's limited in articulation. Even this wonderful looking female here, she looks amazing. Her articulation is subpar. I was hoping we'd have a little bit better, considering how wonderful the gargoyles are. But I feel like, like people like me, I couldn't care less about the horror stuff. But then I watch, you watch Geek Dead Life, or you really watch Toy Anxiety, and they do the sad comments. Roman, stop. And you get guilty face. And people are mad that they're not making Predators, and they're making too many Turtles, and they say there's no Predators. But I'm like, dude, there's like 18 Predators for NECA. And then people complain there's not enough horror stuff, and it's like there's all kinds of horror stuff. So I wonder, like, would you snap half of the NECA stuff away? Because I think they hit so many different lines, but I feel like most of the stuff that they produce is something that someone is going to want, other than the turtle sewer, the turtle sewer playset, which no one seems to want. Wait, so Ramen Toys is making TMT's sewer layer for 180 and maybe 150. Is that true? I mean, I know that when my stream started, so did Mad Hatter, and he was on there. And I meant to talk about this. Ramen had already posted a little with the gates from Jurassic Park. I made comment about this a few weeks ago. That how long is it before he's going to show that? All right, so look at that. So breaking news. Ramen Toys is going to make a turtle sewer layer for about half the price. All right. We got to remove this really quick. All right, so would we snap away half of these? Now, I want to talk about Ace before it gets too late. Well, I think Ace is a really nice guy, but man. So honestly, I would keep these. Because they hit so many properties. And I think they're properties that people like. I do like this though. Need a little excitement, snap it to a Slim Jim. All right. So I have Mythic Legions, giant here. I'm going to guess that no one that collects Mythic Legion says that they produce too many dumb figures. Because I got to say, amazing. Limited articulation, very heavy, very heavy in articulation. I'm sorry, very light with articulation, but very heavy with their sculpt, their paint. I don't think there's anyone that's going to snap anything to do with the Mythic Legions, other than to maybe get some more. Again, these are figures that are actually worth $50, unlike like another brand that I have here. I think it's safe to say I'm pretty much Ooh, snap the shill out of Mythic Legions. Wow. I don't think there's anyone who's really playing with Mythic Legions. They make absolutely wonderful figures. A reaction, which I already know the answer to this. Would people snap away half of the Mythic Legions? I'm sorry, the reaction figures. These things, they're just trash. Did anyone who asked for Motu figures and 5 points of articulation like a Star Wars figure? John, melt him into goo. I don't know. There's a guy that that he bought like vintage Star Wars figures and just melted them, just to upset people, which I think is stupid because I guess it's your own money, you do whatever you want. But this is stuff you need to melt. I'm with you 100%. Like melt all of this. So I would say we could probably snap almost all of them, but we're going with half because that's what Thanos said was snap. The 25th anniversary. So the 4-inch G.I. Joe figures. I don't think anyone really complained too much about these. Everyone loved the 4-inch figures. I think they're absolutely amazing, to be honest. Maybe there's a few that you didn't need, but I think they really touched on a lot of good figures. Yeah, a lot of people said that. I know Chaz really likes them for the wall art, and they look good for that. But again, I have some in my O-ring room, my 4-inch room, because I don't have a problem mixing and matching 4-inch and O-ring figures. It doesn't bother me like a lot of people. But yeah, Lone Dragon says snap them. But I think the 25th anniversary figures, or the 4-inch line, I think they're wonderful. I think it's a wonderful line, to be honest. So, I don't think there's anyone that's going to want to get rid of this. Matthew here says 4-inch Joe was great for the most part, especially POC, and later the 25th did have good art. Yeah. All right. I kind of want to get through this because I want to talk a little bit about Ramen Toys, especially now that obviously we missed it. Sorry, everyone, you missed the breaking announcement with Mad Hatter. When you're done, go check out Mad Hatter. I think we already discussed this. I think we can easily snap away half of the McFarlane DC multiverse figures. Oh my gosh, there's so many of these figures people want to snap away before they even hit the shelves, right? Yeah, as John says, poof. Okay, Super 7 Ultimates. I know people, they go back and forth on this one. I am not a fan of these things at all. I think these things are garbage. I think you can definitely snap away at least half of all the Ultimates. Outback Stew, it's nice to see you. We're getting ready to wrap it up, but I do want to talk a little bit about Ramen Toys. Again, so kind of listen, once again, like, am I going to make it 3 hours? Yeah. And make it 3 hours and some time to spare. So I'm going to guess everyone is going to snap at least half of these things. Okay, so, but I wasn't just talking G.I. Joe. I was actually doing all Ultimates because I think they do too many Ultimates. And it only tries to keep them all on the same scale, but they're not all scaled. Like, it makes no sense. But I'm going to say we get Thanos snap the Super 7 Ultimates. Marvel Legends, I don't think that's... I think once we got into the figures that are being made now, I hear the complaints. I think the Marvel Legends, they make some really good figures. They also continue to remake the same figures over and over and over. They give you a lot of crappy figures, expensive for the amount of stuff that you are getting. All right, Sean, thank you for joining. I look forward to seeing you next Monday night. Same time, same channel. So Marvel Legends, I think we can snap half of them away. G.I. Joe Classified, well, you know my feelings on this. There's a few that I'm okay not having. A few that I'm okay not having, but for the most part, yeah. Pumpkin Toys, I'm about to snap half the price from all the lines and call it a night. I know, it's going. Listen, can you imagine if I had someone to actually talk to, how long these streams might end up going? Or maybe they would, they'd push me. M3 Reviews, you are new here. And let's see here. How about you snap that ass? All right. And then Mark Cosplay. I cannot say that I've seen you in here before. Matthew will correct me if I'm wrong, but thank you. Listen, I'm happy to see all the new people, especially going here on 3 hours. So if you're here and you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I know we've had over 100 people come through. But anyway, as to snap this away, G.I. Joe Classified, can't snap it. Here's one, Valaverse. I don't know if there's anything that I would actually snap away on Valaverse. Again, there's things that I would rather change. I don't think you need that many army builders, but they're there. If you want the army builders, you have them. They're all the same figures, but I don't think there's any figures that shouldn't have been made. There's a couple. I take that back. And Star Wars Black Series, is it easily to say that we could snap half of these away? I don't think we need this many Black Series. There's a lot of other toy lines, I guess, we could get into. All right, so we've gone 3 hours, but I want to discuss this really quick here. Let me get rid of all this stuff here. So I guess some of you were watching the Mad Hatter, who he's got like 15,000 subscribers or something, and he had Ace from Ramadan. I saw that when I first started, when I went to YouTube. So I guess Ace just announced that he will be making the turtle lair. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch that. So I want to discuss. I know Matthew and I have had some discussions about Ramen Toys and Ace, and I met Ace. Very nice guy, very personal. Most of the toys that he had looked really good. I did not realize till I was watching, I believe, the Foosh, where, and Ed, if you're still here, maybe you knew this. I didn't realize this. So if you ordered the three Maverick figures, the 3 Top Gun figures, which are called the Aviators, if you ordered it from there, the 3 of them together, you got the Tom Cruise head and Maverick head as a giveaway, as a freebie. He's not allowed to sell it, so it's a giveaway. I did not realize that the face sculpt, the head sculpt that was used to replace the Maverick figure is meant to be used as your Falcon. I didn't realize that. Maybe Ed did, maybe some of the other guys at PowerCon. That's what Robot the Foosh said, and I went, holy shit. Once I looked at it, and I went, oh my God, I see it. So I meant to get a picture, and again, I get distracted with shit when I do this. I got so much stuff going on in my life, and the amount of time I spent with this, and it's just been a crazy couple weeks. That's why I feel like I'm a little bit less prepared for the show. So someone had said, yeah, he posted gates that look like the Jurassic Park gates, because obviously they're not going to fund. Those Jurassic Park gates are not going to fund. He already hinted at it. So now I guess people were already making jokes and hinting at him to make the sewer layer. Now I guess he announced it, I guess at the same time that we were on. So I like Ace. Again, talking to him, he was extremely nice. But I feel like I even remember he was in the chat on a 3POA, and it has something to do with Hasbro. And even Bobby said, hey, dude, I kind of get it from their point. Like, it's their intellectual property. Like, you're taking their property and you're trying to do it. He's like, so I understand why, they would give you a cease and desist. It is their property. He's like, if someone did that to mine, I would do the exact same thing. Again, kind of makes me laugh, but that's neither here nor there. And I feel like a lot of people feel the same way. Like, I think a lot of people are scared with ramen toys till it's actually in hand and they can order it, that like it may never get produced. You may lose that money and not get it. And I've already discussed earlier how I've kind of paid to get some stuff, and now I'm waiting on the shipping, and I'm not, I'm going to survive. I mean, even if I didn't get it, I think I'm going to get the stuff because multiple people have ordered from them, but I'm just like, it kind of stresses me out. I feel like a lot of the stuff that Ramen Toys is attempting to do, they are just asking to get sued. I think that's what happened when they went up against trying to do the Maverick figure. Like, oh, wow, we went up against Tom Cruise money. And Tom Cruise doesn't like people selling his likeness. Now, again, if you give something away, you can get away with it. That's how a lot of these places do it. I know when my son met the guy that was doing their whole Red Hood YouTube thing, and he said, hey, we can't sell you Red Hood stuff, but you can donate to help our channel, and we're giving you this Red Hood shirt as a donation. That's how you get away with a lot of the stuff. But yeah, so it's interesting that he's already going to jump on it. I think he does a really, he went up against Scientology. That's, yeah. But yeah, I think that, I think a lot of the products that he was showing look really nice. I think, I feel like Hasbro, they gave him a bunch of stuff that he couldn't do with the Thunderhawk for the mask. That's why they had to make so many changes to it. Like, no, you cannot do it just like that. So that's why there's changes to that. And Ed had said something up here. He said, I knew that about the aviators, but I had talked with Ace early on Friday at PowerCon. Yeah, but I didn't realize that Face Sculpt was supposed to be for Falcon. So if you bought them there, then you could use that as Falcon, which is great because Falcon sucks. Yeah, Raw. I hope Ace keeps doing his stuff. He needs to make 1/12 Rancor. Listen, if Ace has the balls like it seems like he does, he should do a Rancor, a lightsaber, and Cookie Monster. But I think it's interesting that he's already jumping on it. He sees the people that are angry about it. and he's already going to jump on this turtle layer. And like here he is, like think about it. They just really showed it off at PowerCon, at least what the price is, and he's already jumping on it, saying, "Hey, you know what? I can make it at a better price, a much better price." You know, you start making too many enemies in the business, and you know, again, NECA is not really a small company. I mean, yeah, they're an independent company. They're not Hasbro. They're not Mattel. But man, I don't know. It's interesting that he's already doing it. Like he's not even waiting to see. And if you're NECA and he actually does do this, he's got to think they're going to be pissed because it's not a crowdfunder. They've already committed to making it. So, you know, I mean, if you're just making a sewer, then I guess it would be hard to get, you know, to get sued, I guess. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Kind of funny that it happened during this. Like I said, I saw they were going to be on there. Yes, Brick, you missed my camera die. You missed the snapping stuff away. I guess Mad Hatter had Ace from Ramen Toys on. He announced that he's doing the sewer layer at a, what did they say, like 170, 180 if he hits 2,000 units. So obviously he already knows what he has to do. I don't think that gets done overnight. That's someone, in my opinion, that already had it in his back pocket. So, again, I really liked meeting Ace. I mean, I didn't tell him like who I am. I didn't say I run a channel or anything like that. I just talked to him. You know, I was more interested in that flip ore. Yeah, so 180 to 150, depending on how many units that he ends up selling. I don't know, man. It seems like, almost seems like you're making enemies. Again, doesn't really matter to me so much because, you know, I don't need to worry about it. But yeah, kind of crazy. Allison says he's doing an underground moisture waste area at a less reptile martial artist apartment. The funny thing is, Allison, I don't know if you're making a joke about that or you actually went and watched it really quickly and that's what he named it, because I could actually see him doing something like that. But oh my god, I am with you. Like, it really is something simple. It is 4 walls that you could use for multiple displays. I mean, NECA. I mean, they could easily take that and, you know, just make multiple displays. They could do a cabin for all their Evil Dead stuff. You know, they could do something for the gargoyle. I mean, there's so much stuff that they can do that it's like you have this mold. Yeah, if you went cheaper, you know. But again, I don't make toys. I only, you know, can kind of look at things and think like, hey, you know what? Maybe. Hold on. You disagree? What do you disagree with? I need to know what you disagree with. Oops, is trying to poke the bear. No, wait. I'm interested to see. Wait, what you're disagreeing with me, because I love having discussions. That's why I sit here for 3+. Oh my god. Curtis Schultz. Wait, okay, Curtis, I didn't even see you here yet. Somehow Lone Dragon thought he offended you. So I kind of want to know the backstory, but then I don't, because it's midnight here. And I know I need to go to sleep, but then, you know, this kind of broke, and I know there'll be a bunch of people Probably people going live right now to talk about it. I can't go live every time there's breaking news. God bless the people that can. But man, oh man, I can't do that. But anyway, I think I do need to wrap it up. I was just waiting for Wade to say what he disagreed with me. So that's what I was trying to wait till I can kind of wrap up the show, because I am interested in what Wade says he disagrees with me about. Because it's okay to disagree. You know, it's kind of crazy, people. You guys can disagree on things and still not hate each other. It's awesome. I love that. Okay, hold on. The sewer is pretty much the style of turtles, unlike the street scene, which are $100 that are very versatile. That layer wouldn't look good with other lines, in my opinion. Okay, so that's. I'm gonna get rid of this right here. All right, so point taken. Now let's get to something really quick. I'm gonna pull it up really quick. I mean, I'm not gonna try and change your opinion. So, pull it up here. Present. Share screen. Again, if anyone does StreamYard, then they know exactly what I'm talking about. When I say, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing this. All right. So you are absolutely correct but what I am saying is that when you look at the four walls, so you have, the three walls. So you have the three walls, you have the base. Now, if you created a wall diagram like this, you would originally create it solid walls. And then if you were going to do a different type of room, you would have regular doors that you would cut into it. So you already have the mold, and then you're just going to cut the different walls differently. The sewer pipes would obviously be different, but you're all right. It is decoed and it is painted like the sewer. But what I'm saying is you kind of already have this base here. It's kind of like a HISS tank. You already have the HISS tank, or you have the vamp, and then you create a vamp Mark II, and then you create the vamp or the stinger. So you make some changes, but you make a base where all the walls, the flooring, and the roof can all be universal. And then you're just going to run some different type of, obviously the circles for the sewer compared to doors. That's all that I'm saying. But I do understand what you're saying. Like, yeah, this looks like a sewer layer, but you could change it other than the circles, which that's something you would have to change. Which is why the layer is more specific to the turtles art style. So it makes it more of a niche product, which makes it more money. And again, I understand everything that everyone is saying. But yeah, that's just kind of what I think. Again, you have a base here. Again, I don't make toys, but I do know, like, our copy machines. All the machines are all the mid-range machines, the base is the exact same. The black and whites and the colors are all the same, but there's different speeds. There's lower ends, there's black and whites, there's colors. But around everything is the same, and that's to keep down the cost. That, of course, they don't really pass on to you. They pass on to themselves. So, but that's it. Yes, but molds can't be changed that easy. Example, Predator would be huge in there. Okay, I didn't say Predator. I said, like, well, again, this thing is almost 13 inches high. It's not small. Yeah, believe me, Wade, I'm not going to fight with you about this. Again, I don't want you to think that I'm fighting with you. I like having discussions. That's what, I like having discussions. That's actually how I met Articulated Chad. Like, we kind of had a disagreement, and it was going the wrong way. And I sent him a message on Instagram, and he just hit me back, and he was like, dude, I'm so glad that you responded like this. I was like, hey, you know what? We just had different opinions, but sometimes text doesn't come out. Right. Now, I just think like you could use this wall base again for different things. Just my opinion. And again, I'm not even complaining that it's $300. I'm not even complaining that it's $300, man. Like everything is so damn expensive. Would I pay $300 for it? No. I mean, I print up my own walls, but I also know that what I'm printing up isn't going to look half as good as this should. So, okay, guys, you guys got 3 hours and 21 minutes out of me. In a roundabout way, I did have to restart my computer, lost the camera. It's been an interesting night, and there's 37 of you still sitting here. If you haven't hit like, please hit like. It tells YouTube, hey, you know what? Some people are still sitting around watching this. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, even you bots, subscribe to the channel. I'm getting close to that 2,500 mark. I'm really, really hoping to hit 3,000 subscribers. Again, I'm the first one to say, hey, you know what? After 1,000 subscribers, it really doesn't matter. But it is this nice pat on the back. It makes me feel good. Makes me feel good. And that's what YouTubers, that's what Toy Tubers do. We want, makes us feel a little bit better. But anyway, hey, you know what, Outback? Listen, I understand. We're all busy people, man. We're all adults. We're busy people. Not everyone has time to sit down at 9 p.m. and just listen to me, myself, and I rant. Me, honestly, God, I go into every single fucking stream now going, I don't think I can make it 3 hours. And here we are going on almost 3.5 hours. I've had to pee for like 2 hours. Roman needs to. Woo! And yes, one last shout out here. Jump over, Hella Dope Toys, subscribe. They're trying to hit 500, and once they hit 500, they are going to give away the PowerCon exclusive from Mythic Legions, 4 Horsemen. It looks awesome. I want it, but hey. And yes, this Thursday we will be discussing Roadhouse, Matthew and myself. Thank you, Matthew. I will have to do that tomorrow because I have no time but to do YouTube stuff and work. But I don't have any kids this week, so it's kind of crazy. Oh, dude, it is a wonderful giveaway, man. It is. You mean this bottle? That's my water that I drink it. Oh, look at that. Outback Stu said he just hit 300. Jump over on Outback and give him a subscribe, a follow. I don't know what the hell you call it, Check out Outback Stu. I always thought it was pretty funny. I saw Outback Stu. I'd see him on the Full Force, and then I realized that Outback Stu is because Outback's last name is Stewart. So anyway, I am going to get out of here. I rambled on way too long. You got 24 minutes extra out of me. I gave that to you because my camera died. Now I got to go buy a new fucking camera. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys, everyone. Every single one of you that stuck around. You guys are awesome. It means the world to me that you guys are willing to spend some time with me as I ramble on. But I'm going to go get some sleep, pee, all that good stuff. So anyway, take care. I will see you guys on Thursday. If I don't see you on Thursday, I will see you guys back here on Monday night.
You know it's